Flirty Maya. How did you come about that song?
I don't care about the latest trends or whatever, but if I have to work on the business side, of course I have to get these terms in my head. Okay, everything has changed. मेरो peakमा म पुग्नै बाँकी छ तर किन त I started hating myself.
How has your music evolved? पहिलाको comparison. What led you to that point where you decided कि you know what, I don't want to do this anymore?
Because I thought, and I really wanted to kill that identity at that time, you know? I really wanted to restart. The reason I took a break was I really wanted to enjoy life.
अहिलेको लागि some of the biggest challenge for independent artists, like what do you think is like a challenge for those people that are still trying to make it? Hello, Neetesh.
Hello, Sanjay.
Welcome back to LA.
Thank you.
Second time. So you were here for what, like a little bit of time, right? Spend a little bit of time.
Alka transit ko lagi. So we're back in LA again.
US tour, so awesome. I'm glad that you flew all the way from East Coast. Lamo flight थियो.
6 hours.
Okay, well, that's again still the same country. So, Neetesh, thank you so much, first of all. You know, I reached out to you and you were nice enough to take up the offer. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you for having us.
I've been tracking your story and your music for a long, long time. I enjoy it like a lot of Hamro Nepali audience. Plus, now I also found out that you also have, you know, experiment. You've actually you've dived into English music as well. Again, I was taken away. So, lot of questions for you. So, you wanted to be a musician. Kun bela dekhi chai, okay, you know what? I want to be a musician. Did you have that ever, like, kunai time ma kahaबाट सुरु भयो त यो?
To be honest, I cannot remember the exact time and date. But the situation I grew up in, it was a little bit chaotic. I don't know. I was a city boy, and the environment was a little bit chaotic, and I was always searching for stimulation. And my mind say kuncha dherai kurale ekdam stimulated huncha, you know, like to get that adrenaline. And I used to look at rock stars in MTV back in the day. And yeah, I was fortunate enough that I always say the same things. My father had some good recordings of these great artists and even our Nepali legends. And I got to listen to them and it really moved me. It just didn't move me, it moved my soul in a way that, okay, मलाई यस्तो धेरै मजा कहिले पनि आएको थिएन भनेर. And then I thought to myself, if these guys can do it, maybe I can do it. Or if I don't, I can try. And then I got into it, picked up the guitar, and malka chords with my father. And I always thought he always wanted to be a musician, and he couldn't live his dream because family and all responsibility. And that is why I think he wanted me to pursue that dream so that he could see me doing the things that he couldn't. And then I picked up the guitar, and it was pressure for me at that time. I don't know, my father was a little bit of a disciplinarian, if I must say. That was the generation back in the day, right? It was the chill generation, थिएन. And he used to like pressure me, you know, put pressure on me, okay, तैँले यो बजाउनै पर्छ घर गएर, त्यहाँ एउटा फङ्सन हुँदैछ, तैँले त्यहाँ गएर बजाउनै पर्छ. I used to think like, किन यस्तो धेरै pressure दिइरहेको? Now that I know कि okay, यो टाइमको लागि रहेछ. And then I used to play with people, सानैदेखि एक्लै घरमा, with the CDs, cassettes त्यति बेला त, CDs त अलिकति पछि आएको थियो.
Right.
And then I used to have fun. And schoolमा, as much as I remember, I was not that close kind of अलिकति socialize गर्ने मान्छे. बच्चा थिएन म, सबैजनासँग मिल्न नसक्ने. Even I remember I could not even fit in the playground. Okay? And he got back home, picked up the guitar, and he used to learn यो सानोतिनो कुराहरू, and then I got to know about myself. Okay, I really enjoy this. I'm really having fun. I'm not alone anymore. Feel boy. I was really lonely growing up, trying to fit in everywhere. Like the misfit के जहाँ पनि. अनि म्युजिक सुन्दा अनि गिटार बजाउँदा चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै आफूले एउटा साथी भेटे जस्तो फिल भयो क्या. You know, basically it was like my dad when my dad was not around. When my dad was there, things were different, but when my dad was not around, मैले झन् मेरो साथी भेटेको जस्तो भयो क्या. My mentor kind of thing. Music was like that. And then it gave me that adrenaline, that boost, that confidence. होइन, त्यो तर्सिरहेको बच्चालाई like already you feel like okay, होइन, I am the shit type of guy with that. अनि I thought to myself, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Let's see what happens. But yeah, बच्चादेखि सानैदेखि it was my passion. Later on, I realized that it became my purpose. So now it is really my purpose. It is a lifesaver for me, guys, music. That is how I chose music at that time.
Obviously, हाम्रो society जसरी सेटअप भएको छ, अब I kind of come from Nepal, म 20 वर्ष त्यहाँ बसेको मान्छे नै हो. So normally एउटा thought process के हुन्छ भने गिटार सिटार बोकेर हिँड्या छ छोरो, यहीले के गरिरहेछ यो, करियर बनाए यार भन्ने त्यो that's a very typical talk नेपालमा हुन्छ नि त हैन. अब and also you had a career, right? You were you selling cars? That's what it was? Or what exactly were you doing, by the way, like before this thing kind of worked out? Ke गरिरहेको थियो? Like what were you doing?
When I was a teenager, I didn't even know that this job existed. I never knew कि म कतै गएर गिटार बजाउँछु अनि म गीत गाएर पैसा कमाउँछु. That idea was totally under the sand for me. अनि जब कलेजहरू पास गर्न पर्यो यताउता प्रेसरहरू आउने, अब सबैको पढ्नुपर्छ हैन, कर्पोरेटमा लाग्नुपर्छ, suit and tie लाएर अफिस जानुपर्छ. That was success for the average Nepali household. Still it is. अनि used to go, college सक्यो अनि banking and insurance भन्ने एउटा टपिक थियो जुन मैले पाएँ. त्यो पनि मैले कुनै मनदेखि यो यही नै पढ्छु भने पढाएँ हैन. कलेजमा एउटा खाली थियो त्यसको सिट हैन. अनि साइन्स पढेको +2 मा, अनि साइन्स +2 मै पढ्ने बित्तिकै थाहा भयो कि ओहो दिस इज गोना रुइन माई लाइफ जस्तो फिल भएको थियो, किनकि प्रेसर यति धेरै थियो कि त्यो पढाइको. And after that, म्यानेजमेन्टमा पढ्छु भने जाँदा म्यानेजमेन्टमा ब्याङ्किङ एन्ड इन्स्योरेन्स त्यति बेलाको बुमिङ टपिक थियो, बिकज देयर वर सो मेनी ब्याङ्क्स. अहिले आएर सोच्दाखेरि यत्रो सानो देशमा 32 वटा ब्याङ्क किन थियो भन्ने जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई, तर त्यति बेला थियो. अनि ओके ब्याङ्किङ पढौँ, ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टर खतरा छ भनेर लाग्यो, पढ्यो ब्याङ्किङ. इन्टर्नसिप गर्नुपर्ने हुन्थ्यो लास्टमा. ब्याङ्कको इन्टर्नसिप गर्ने बित्तिकै नै मैले बुझेँ कि ओहो दिस इज नट फर मी म्यान. दिनै जाऊ, सबजना आशा मान्छेहरू हैन, अब यसको लागि त अलिकति सार्पै हुनुपर्छ होला माइन्ड. एभ्री टाइम सिटिङ इन फ्रन्ट अफ अ कम्प्युटर देयर, हिसाब कलेजमा त्यति प्रेसर भएको थियो. ओके आइ एम नट गोना डु दिस. अनि कार पनि म बेच्छु भनेर हिँडेँ हैन. A family friend of mine who used to work for a car company in a very good designation, and he had a good designation and he knew people. He recommended, my mama recommended his name to me. And basically I was recommended to him from my mama, my mother's brother. And then I was like, okay, गएर एउटा इन्टरभ्यू दिउँ नि त भनेर भन्यो. अनि ओके हु केयर्स हैन, स्यालेरी आउला, पैसा छैन अहिले, सो आई क्यान वर्क भनेर गएँ. उहाँलाई भेटेँ. कारको बारेमा तिमीलाई के थाहा छ भनेर भन्नुभयो. मलाई त कारको बारेमा के थाहा छ, 4वटा पाङ्रा हुन्छ, गाडी गुड छ हैन, द्याट्स इट. तर कार बेच्ने मार्केटको बारेमा सोध्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो. अनि आई टोल्ड देम कि मलाई अहिले केही थाहा छैन, तर यु क्यान जस्ट पुट मी इन द्याट पोजिसन, आई लर्न भनेर भने. अनि त्यो अफिसमा राख्नुभयो, फोर्ड मोटर कम्पनी. आई लभ फोर्ड, आई युज टु लभ. मैले पहिलेदेखि नै हिस्ट्री एकदमै फलो गर्ने मान्छे भएर फोर्डको मलाई सबै कुरा थाहा थियो, धेरै जस्तो कुरा थाहा थियो, कोटाइरहने बानी. अनि गएँ, फर्स्ट डे अफ अफिस उहाँले लिनुभयो, 13-14 हजार तलब दिनुभयो. आई वाज सो ह्याप्पी. वाउ. अनि 13-14 हजार तलबमा त म बाइकमा पेट्रोल पनि हाल्न सक्छु लुगा नि किन्न सक्छु होइन सबै हुन्छ मसँग अब त्यति बेला त्यस्तो सोच गएँ अफिस च्यालेन्जेसहरू देखेँ अनि उहाँहरू दे वर भेरी गुड कि दे ट्रेन्ड अस फर 2 weeks दे जस्ट डिन्ट लाइक हायर एन्ड काम गराउन लाउने होइन फोर्डको पोलिसी चाहिँ यो थियो कि वेन यु हायर यर इम्प्लोइज यु निड टु ट्रेन देम and it was a good training that I'll never forget. There was a 5-star hotel, good meal, and people from all around the world. हामीलाई आउने सिकाउने बोल्न सिकाउने अनि त्यसले गर्दा अलिअलि कन्फिडेन्स भयो एन्ड माई फ्रेन्ड जो भर्खर युकेबाट रिटर्न थियो उसलाई नेपालमा केही गर्नु थियो युकेमा पढ्न गएको थियो अनि हि केम द राजन इज हिज नेम ऊ र म एकदम कलिग्स भयौँ बिकज हामीले सँगै जब स्टार्ट गऱ्यौँ त्यसपछि सिक्यौँ एन्ड आई टेल यु अ फनी स्टोरी So a client came to him. हामीलाई showroom राख्दै थियो फर्स्टमा अब किनकि showroom is the very first place where you learn how to sell a car, right? त्यसपछि पो division हुँदै जाने हो. So showroom राख्दै and we're just sitting inside the showroom अनि मान्छेले भन्यो कि तिमीहरू कारभित्र जाऊ हेर कारलाई हेर यताउता अब he was so funny भित्र जाँदाखेरि यो थियो नि एयरब्याग निस्के लागि क्या हो ब्रदर यताउता जोक गर्दै थियो अनि एउटा मान्छे आएपछि अनि मजाले यो जोक रिपिट गरिरहेको हुन्छ कि आस्क्ड अस एकैचोटि उसले सोध्यो कि यो गाडी चाहिँ के हो यो कुन ड्राइभ 2 wheel ड्राइभ हो कि 4 wheel ड्राइभ हो सोध्यो होइन मलाई अलिअलि थाहा थियो तर म साइडमा चुप्लाएर बसेर उसलाई सोधेको थियो अनि हि लुक्ड एट द कार अनि उसले गनेछ क्या टायर एउटा पाङ्ला दुईवटा पाङ्ला तिनवटा पाङ्ला चारवटा पाङ्ला होइन तर उसको माइन्ड त अब सिक्ने माइन्ड त अलिकति क्युरियस माइन्ड त अलिकति ऊ हुन्छ नि त उसले त नयाँ नयाँ कुरा हेरेर हुन्छ पछाडि हेर्दाखेरि हि स द फिफ्थ the spare tire पनि हुन्छ नि त so he's like sir this is a 5 wheel drive car and I'll never forget those moments now my friend he is one of the best sellers in Kathmandu corporate world जुन काठमाडौँको corporate industry छ he is one of the best sellers अब त्यति बेला हाम्रो ताल त्यस्तो थियो of course अनि सिक्दै गयो मैले राम्रो पोजिसन्सहरू पाएँ विदेशको जुन एक्सप्याट्सहरू बस्नुहुन्थ्यो उहाँसँग म डिल गर्थेँ जुन ब्लू नम्बर प्लेट्स देख्नुहुन्छ नि हजुर नेपालमा सो उहाँहरूको चाहिँ इफ यु डोन्ट नो उहाँहरूले चाहिँ गाडीको ट्याक्स तिर्नु पर्दैन कि एमआरपी जतिमा बन्छ नि गाडी दे क्यान गेट इट द्याट्स द बेनिफिट दे हेभ फ्रम द गभर्मेन्ट किनकि उनीहरू हाम्रो देशमा काम गरेर आएको मान्छेहरू हो नि त सो दे गेट द बेनिफिट अनि त्योहरू बेच्थेँ म यताउता कम्प्लेन्ट्सहरू पनि हेर्थेँ प्रेसर हुन थाल्यो मलाई अब एज अ यङ गाई गाडी दिइन्थ्यो कहिले क्रेडिटमा दिइन्थ्यो अनि 4-5 करोडको प्रेसरहरू हुने अब पेमेन्ट्स उठाउनु पर्ने त्यसले गर्दाखेरि बिस्तारै आई स्टार्टेड गोइङ टु द अफिस लेट आई स्टार्टेड फलिङ ब्याक लाइक फलिङ इन लभ विथ म्युजिक अगेन राति फेरि म गिटारहरू नै बजाउन थालेँ अनि अफिसमा 12-1 बजी जान थालेँ आई वाज रियली फ्लेक्सिबल त्यस्तो त केही भन्नुहुन्थेन मलाई कसैले पनि Then I realized कि okay this is not for me होइन earthquake भयो अनि blockade भयो त्यति बेला नि मैले बुझेँ कि okay this is not for me I think I'm meant to do some other things I talked to my boss अनि जो मेरो family friend हुनुहुन्थ्यो he was also my boss one of my mentors मैले उहाँलाई नि भने I'm not changing the company म कुनै यो गाडी कम्पनी छोडेर अर्कोमा मलाई तलब पायो भनेर जानला होइन के नै पाउने हो र I just want to change the whole concept मेरो लाइफको नै बिकज राइट नाउ आइ एम क्वेसनिङ कि मैले मेरो लाइफमा ठिक गरेँ कि गरिनँ आई हेभ सम फेलो फ्रेन्ड्स अफ माइन हु डिड म्युजिक ब्याक इन द डे एन्ड दे आर टुरिङ अहिले एन्ड सो आई थिङ्क मैले नि त गर्न सक्थेँ सो म एकदम क्वेसन गरिरहेको छु मेरो लाइफलाई अहिले भनेर मैले एउटा थेरापी सेसनै राखेँ मेरो बसहरूसँग आई डोन्ट थिङ्क अहिलेसम्म त्यस्तो कसैले कुरा गरेको थियो होला उनीहरूसँग अनि दे वर लाइक ओके यु जस्ट वान लिभ एभ्रिथिङ यस आई वान लिभ एभ्रिथिङ अब आई डोन्ट ह्याभ एनी चोइस किनकि म राति सुत्नै सकिरहेको छैन त म के गरौँ त होइन लाइक कार भन्नुहुन्छ हजुरहरू मलाई कारको कन्सेप्टै आएर म मेरो लाइफलाई क्वेसन गरिरहेको छु हाउ क्यान आई सेल कार्स होइन आई जस्ट बी अ ब्याड इम्प्लोइ एन्ड देन दे वर लाइक यु स्योर अबाउट दिस यस आइ एम स्योर अबाउट दिस सर भन्दाखेरि ओके देन अल द बेस्ट त्यो म्युजिक गर्न चाहन्छु यु डु इट इन द फ्युचर हामीलाई तिम्रो गीत सुन्नु छ भनेर दे टोल्ड मी अनि त्यति बेला आई फेल्ट रियली ह्याप्पी कि ओके मान्यो मलाई सुन्यो कुरा अनि देन त्यसपछि कुरा बढ्दै गयो अनि सम इन्सेन्टिभ मेरो अलिकति कलेक्ट गर्नुपर्ने थियो क्या पहिलाको तर मैले एकैचोटि हुन त मैले 1 महिना जस्तोको नोटिस अगाडि दिनिसकेको थिएँ, तर एकैचोटि छोडेको जस्तो भएछ कम्पनीलाई। अनि कतिवटा मैले पेन्डिङ पेमेन्ट्सहरू मैले उठाउन बाँकी थियो, पेन्डिङ डिल्सहरू सघाउनु बाँकी थियो, त्यसले गर्दा मेरो इन्सेन्टिभ रोकियो क्या। एन्ड एट द्याट टाइम माई फादर ह्याड एन आई सर्जरी, त्यो पे गर्नु थियो क्या मलाई, त्यो पे जसरी पनि गर्नु थियो त्यो आई सर्जरीको त्यही इन्सेन्टिभले, तर पेमेन्ट आउनु एकदम ढिला भयो क्या। अनि कुरा अलिअलि कस्तो कस्तो हुँदै गयो क्या त्यो मिलेको कुरा। अनि फेयरवेल पार्टी पनि सबैले पाइरहेको थियो, मैले पाएन त्यति बेला बिकज अफ द्याट, आई डोन्ट नो त्यो पेन्डिङ समथिङ के थियो। अनि त्यति बेला मलाई याद छ क्या, चित्त दुखाएर निस्केको थिएँ म अफिसबाट। अहिले त म त्यस्तो सोच्दिनँ, तर त्यति बेला अब यु नो लाइक यु डोन्ट ह्याभ मनी, यु नो त्यो हुन्छ नि कहिलेकाहीँ। अनि त्यति बेला आई लुक्ड एट द अफिस एन्ड ओके समडे आइ एम गोना सो यु भनेर मलाई भनेकै याद छ क्या। अब एक्लै थिएँ म होइन, जस्ट ह्याड अ सिगरेट इन माई ह्यान्ड, समडे आइ एम गोना सो यु म्यान। आज चित्त दुखायो थियो उहाँले मेरो, जब 60-70,000 त लिनु थियो।
राइट।
अनि I went out अनि त्यसपछि आई स्टार्टेड माई हसल। अनि त्यसपछि तर फेरि अब हुँदै गएपछि म मेरो अफिससँग फेरि गुड मेमोरिजहरू ब्याक भइहाल्यो। आई रेस्पेक्ट माई बसेस, मेन्टर्स, सबैजना स्टिल वे इन टक्स, माई फ्रेन्ड्स सबैजना हामी सबै भेट्छौँ। तर द्याट मोमेन्ट रियली पुस्ड मी फरवर्ड। हो अलिकति इगोइस्टिक थियो त्यो मोमेन्ट, नाउ द्याट आई लुक ब्याक इन्टु इट, तर द्याट रियली पुस्ड मी कि ओके आई हेभ टु शो a lot of people now because I don't have any job. मसँग पैसा पनि छैन. I just have a guitar and made some good friends along the way. I was really fortunate enough that I got the platform. I got the opportunity when no one was there and the internet was just booming. YouTube was booming. म त्यो एराको हो।
यो कुन इयरको कुरा हो Neetesh? When did you quit your job?
Maybe it was no, I remember clearly it was 2016.
16.
हजुर।
Okay. So right after earthquake, अनि त्यसपछि obviously blockade थियो। म भनेको विदेशमा बसेको मान्छेलाई चाहिँ अब I don't have a lot of context of that किनभने अब I was not there, right?
हजुर।
So तर that also imparted, I'm pretty sure मान्छेलाई गाह्रो भयो होला किनभने that's in some ways नेपालमा earthquake नआउने भन्ने कुरा त हुँदैन थियो। जहिले म त्यहाँ बस्दाखेरि you get like once a while, तर त्यो म्याग्निट्युडको प्लस the effect that it had on people psychologically पनि, प्लस अब at the same time you had blockade, कति कुराहरू भइरहेको छैन
for a year
होइन। अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि and also like it's a tough place to be. So I remember listening to your talk. I know एउटा, I think you talked to Sanjay about this probably. Your moment was when you walked all the way from Bhaisipati-देखि कहाँसम्म, like I forgot. Thapatali. That's a pretty decent walk, होइन। अनि I thought about that. कहाँबाट मलाई याद आयो भने पहिला म 12 पढ्दाखेरि म मेरो साथीहरू त्यतिखेर नेपाल बन्द भएको बेलामा हाम्रो still or there was some sort of strike. अनि म मेरो साथी ऋषभ र सौगात हामी +2 पढ्दाखेरि we had to go all the way to जावलाखेल from मिनुभवन। हामी साइकलमा गएको, रातभर सुत्या छैन, पढेर त्यो स्ट्रेस छ होइन, साइकलमा गइरहेछौँ, त्यो कुपनोलको उकालोमा सकिरहेको छैन चलाउन होइन, त्यो गियरवाला पनि होइन साइकल। सो एनिवेज बट अगेन नेपालको एउटा हो स्ट्रगल भन्ने कुरा अब छ, कति कुराबाट निक्लिन्छ। तर I actually thought of that walk. Do you think त्यो walk was like life changing for you?
Life changing that. Still do it. के अरे त्यो जुन त्यो वक लिन्थेँ मैले, म क्याजुअल ड्रेस लाउँथेँ, अफिसको ड्रेस ब्यागमा बोक्थेँ, अनि म हिँड्थेँ घरबाट, अनि म दौडिन्थेँ, थाक्थेँ, हिँड्थेँ, पानी खान्थेँ बाटोमा, म अफिससम्म पुग्थेँ। मैले अफिसमा अनि अलरेडी मेरो लागि एउटा आइरन चाहिँ राखिदिनु भनेर भनेको थिएँ, एउटा सावर रुम थियो, द्याट युज टु बी सो हेल्पफुल होइन, जान्थेँ।
That's pretty progressive by the way for that era.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because बाँच्नु त पर्यो नि त स्टाइलमा, जसरी बाँच्यो पनि, राइट।
Sure.
अनि गयो अनि फेरि ड्रेसेस लाउँथेँ, बाहिर निस्किन्थेँ, अनि टक्क अनि आई युज टु के भन्छ स्टार्ट द डे विथ अ कफी। यहाँ कर्पोरेट वर्ल्डको फेरि एउटा मस्ती त हुन्छ नि त, कफी ट्याक्क आइपुग्छ होइन, अब सर भन्छन् मान्छेहरूले, एउटा यत्तिकै छुट्टै एउटा भाउ त खाइन्छ नि त यहाँ। अनि त्यो कुराले गर्दाखेरि नै मैले कति गीतहरू लेखेको त्यो टाइम, बाटोमा हिँड्दाखेरि केही न केही त सोच्नु पर्यो। अनि अहिलेसम्म पनि when I feel lost in my world, I always do these long walks. म चाहे कुन टाइम होस्, राति, midnight होस्, दिउँसो होस्, I don't care. But when I walk, I always go back to those days and I always feel like I have nothing. Yeah, times are different now, you know. But I always have to feel the same way के I have nothing and I have to do something. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि मलाई त्यो हङ्गर चाहिँ अझ आउँछ कि you know.
Afno, Nitesh, so when was like the first break that you officially had? Because was that obviously around like 2016 time frame? Is that when you caught your first break, or can you Aligati explain if you could explain your process? How did you kind of like, you know, how did you latch onto that music industry? कहाँबाट सुरु भयो त? Like,
So what happened was अफिस छोडेँ होइन यो त्यो काम छोडेपछि एक दुई हप्ता त अब एक महिना जस्तो you have to go through this dark phase because you don't have money. अनि your parents are giving you that look अलिकति तर्सेको टाइपको अनि you know other people are talking about you. हुन्छ नि when the room is full of noises and when you walk inside and the room gets silent, you know the room is talking about you, Nida. So I used to have that feeling. And I heard one quote के एउटा टाइम एउटा प्रिजन ब्रेकको डकुमेन्ट्री हेरेर थिएँ अनि त्यति बेला एउटा प्रिजनरलाई बन्द गरिदिएको हुन्छ अनि त्यो प्रिजनरले एउटा कुरा चाहिँ के भन्छ भने होइन he really wants to escape के from Pretoria prison to the South Africa को अनि त्यति बेला उसले के भन्छ भने एउटा स्टोरी एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङ छ उसले काठले नै उसले भाग्ने चाबी बनाएर उसले भाग्छ क्या त्यो भन्नुभन्दा अगाडि त्यो प्लान त्यो धेरै लामो प्लान छ उसको तर त्यस उसले के भनेको छ भने when you really want something when you really want something in life your mind kind of works in that way उसले त्यो कोट मसँग अहिले पनि छ क्या सधैँ त्यति बेला त्यो डकुमेन्ट्रीमा नि उसले त्यो भन्छ क्या when you really want something your mind kind of हुन्छ नि works in that way क्या त्यही नै पुग्न खोज्छ अनि then I thought about it okay I'll just think about it मलाई अहिले केही मसँग केही वेजहरू छैन तर 24 घण्टा I'll spend my time thinking about it okay I'm gonna get a gig त्यति बेला रेकर्ड डिगल्स एन्ड अल गीत बनाउनु थिएन मलाई I just wanted to play अनि मलाई मनी पनि चाहिएको थियो I just wanted to play be happy सोच्दै जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ एउटा म्युजिक स्टोरबाट भेकेन्सी आएको थियो अनि फ्रेन्ड अफ माइन सेयर द्याट विथ मी अनि त्यो भेकेन्सी चाहिँ एउटा म्यानेजरको लागि थियो म्युजिक स्टोर होइन फर अ गाई हु इज जस्ट लुकिङ इन्टु म्युजिक स्टोर आइरहेछ सो आई वेन्ट देयर started working. I was surrounded by musical instruments all the time. Tone music store, एकदम famous music store नेपालमा त्यति बेला अनि then I got to connect with musicians अनि गीतहरूको कुराहरू हुन थाल्यो अब किनकि when you're in a music store all you talk about is music of course you want to sell the musical instruments but at the same time you're listening to music अब हाम्रो फर्स्ट रुलै के थियो भने म भित्र छिर्थेँ हामी सबैजना छिर्दाखेरि why is it silent play some songs अब that completely dimension नै चेन्ज भयो क्या म जुन वर्ल्डमा थिएँ र जुन वर्ल्डमा आएँ and I got really inspired दिनभरि प्र्याक्टिस गर्थेँ म त्यहीँ बसेर अनि I wrote some of my songs there अनि मैले कति good musiciansहरू पनि चिन्न पाएँ नेपालको famous people and then I got to learn okay they are just normal human beings like me nothing हुन्छ नि extraterrestrial is going on here they're just normal people like me
right
अनि I started getting inspired अनि YouTube थियो युट्युबमा मैले मेरो म्युजिकहरू हाल्न थालेँ at the same time other creator friends of mine were starting to do their own thing and we started collaborating in 2016 ma I started getting gigs because I started covering songs अनि अरू च्यानलहरूसँग कोलाबोरेट गरेर आफ्नो म्युजिक उनीहरूसँग गाउन थालेँ some people really wrote good things about me okay this Neetesh guy I like it this Neetesh guy is really different from the others I like it because त्यो टाइममा चाहिँ I could I can remember being that guy who was completely out of the frame okay? Because music was always this organized thing where you used to come अनि हुन्छ नि मान्छेहरू पहिलाको आर्टिस्टहरू they used to really be low key अलिकति सबैजनासँग हेलो नमस्ते होइन हाम्रो सङ्गीत अब सुरु हुन्छ यस्तो टाइपको भएको बेला there's a guy with a guitar हुन्छ नि all full of tattoos अनि त्यो एउटा न्यू थिङ भयो होला maybe अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि I got the attention that I was craving for अनि गिग्सहरू पाएँ सानो सानो गिग्सहरू 1500 2000 3000मा गाउनु पाउँथेँ अनि साथीहरू आई युज टु इन्भाइट माई फ्रेन्ड्स ओभर त्यो त्यो रक स्टार लाइफ जस्तो फिल भइसकेको थियो मलाई यताउता अनि बिकज आई ह्याड एक्सपिरियन्स प्लेइङ फ्रम ब्यान्ड्स इन द बिफोर मेरो कामभन्दा अगाडि नै आई युज टु प्ले विथ गुड ब्यान्ड्स अनि त्यति बेलादेखि नै मलाई एक्सपिरियन्सहरू थियो
+2 कि
हजुर +2भन्दा अगाडि स्कुलमै पनि आई युज टु प्ले वी युज टु हेभ आवर ओन ब्यान्ड्स तर त्यसपछि चाहिँ म सोलो लागेँ किनकि जस्ट अ गाई अनि गिटार मात्रै भएँ मसँग ब्यान्ड चाहिँ थिएन त्यही पनि पिपल सोड सम लभ एन्ड गट सम गिग्स एन्ड झन् इन्सपायर्ड भए युट्युबमा फेरि म्युजिकहरू हाल्न थालेँ अलिअलि चिन्न थाल्यो फेरि हाल्न थालेँ अलिअलि बढ्न थाल्यो यु नो द्याट वाज अ ग्रेजुअल प्रोसेस when you look at it overnight जस्तो देखिन्छ तर त्यो एभ्री डे एभ्री नाइटको एउटा हुन्छ नि प्रोसेस हुँदै 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 गएर अनि 2016-17 चाहिँ मेरो सङ्ग्सहरूले 1 million भ्युजहरू छुन थाल्यो युट्युबमा एट द्याट टाइम देयर वाज नो स्पोटिफाई ओर एप्पल म्युजिक एट द्याट टाइम इन नेपाल बट युट्युब वाज देयर अनि some of my creative friends who used to have their own fame होइन भिडियो मेकर्स एन्ड अल होइन my brothers उनीहरूले पनि मलाई फिचरहरू गर्यो आफ्नोमा दे गट मी द चान्स टु पर्फर्म एन्ड झन् ब्रड हुँदै गयो मेरो अडियन्स आई स्टार्टेड गेटिङ इन्टरभ्युज अनि त्यहाँ गएर बोल्न थालेँ गेटिङ सोज अनि 2017मा अलिअलि गीतहरू चल्दै गयो एन्ड देन 2018मा चाहिँ अनि आई गट द अनि बिचमा मैले म्युजिक स्टोर पनि मैले छोडेँ आई टोल्ड द ब्रदर्स कि ओके अब आई वान्ट टु पर्स्यु माई करियर डुइङ गिग्स सो मैले टाइम दिन नपाउला भनेर 2017को अर्लीमा मैले छोडेँ एन्ड देन आई स्टार्टेड टु त्यही बारहरूमा जान थालेँ गाउन थालेँ अनि गाउँदै गएपछि कभर्सहरू गर्दा गर्दा मलाई एकछिन दिक्क पनि भयो बिकज आई वान्टेड टु राइट माई ओन म्युजिक अनि मैले बार ओनर्सहरू छ नि उनीहरूलाई पनि भने कि अब आई डोन्ट वान्ट डु इट भनेर मैले 2-3 महिनाको ग्याप त्यहाँ पनि लिएँ एकछिन फेरि मनी लेस चाहिँ भयो म होइन बिकज आई डिडन्ट वान्ट टु डु कभर्स अनि त्यसपछि किनकि बारमा जाँदाखेरि यु हेभ टु डु अदर पिपल्स सङ्ग्स के नत्र दे आर नट गोइङ टु चेरिस यो ओन सङ्ग्स मैले चाहिँ आफ्नै गर्न खोजिरहेको थिएँ अलिअलि ताली आउँथ्यो तर अर्को गीत गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ दे युज टु इन्जोय And then I thought to myself, okay, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that for the rest of my life, I guess. हुन्छ नि किनकि 20-30 वर्ष बितेको थाहा नै हुँदैन यही गर्दाखेरि and then आफ्नो म्युजिकहरू चल्दै गएपछि 2017मा I started getting gigs inside Nepal आफ्नै गीत बजाउँदै हिँड्दै and 2018मा चाहिँ I got my Australia gig and then UK and then त्यसै गर्दा I started to travel यताउता अनि मान्छे चाहिँ त्यही नै थिएँ म जस्ट अ गाई विथ अ गिटार यताउता घुम्दा अनि देन आई गट टु नो अदर पिपल अनि अदर म्युजिसियन्स अनि हुन्छ नि संसारभरिको मान्छेहरू भेट्दै गएपछि चाहिँ आई कलेक्टेड दिज कोइन्स भनौँ न
Okay. No, अब you hit a great point there. मान्छेहरूको सक्सेस हामीले कसरी मेजर गर्ने राइट किनभने measure as in yes, some people will come out with a song and that just launches their career, you know. But in your case, you could see you were getting paid about 3,000, 1,500, 2,000 पाइरहेछ होइन. You're doing these things so त्यसले गर्दाखेरि I'm pretty sure it gave you a lot of confidence, but also कति ठाउँमा you probably felt कि what am I doing पनि feel भयो होला किनभने you really wanted to launch your career. But again, kudos to you. Come a long way and hopefully हाम्रो अब कति aspiring musicianहरूलाई यो कुराले एउटा इन्सपिरेसन मिलोस् होइन किनभने हाम्रो नेपालमा अब हाम्रो नेपालको एउटा नितेश एउटा कुरा के छ भने नेपालमा स्कुलमा ब्यान्ड नबजाउने भन्ने केटा को होला लाइक ब्यान्ड बनाउनु आई मिन नट ओन्ली हाम्रो कल्चर त्यसरी सेटअप छ नि त होइन बिकज यु हेभ लाइक द कुल फ्लेयर ब्यान्डमा हुने गिटार बजाउने whatever that is त्यो हाम्रो त इन्ग्रेन छ नि त हाम्रोमा होइन. एउटा क्वेसन के भने अब यु हेभ वाइड भेराइटिज अफ सङ्ग्स होइन सो you write a lot of songs. When was the first time you wrote a song? Do you remember?
I was a small guy. Could be 3 I used to write poems.
Okay.
अनि बिस्तारै 5-6 grade I used to convert these poems into songs.
Okay.
I got the idea that okay, poems turn into songs. That's the idea of songwriting. And I used to write first and then गिटारमा अलिअलि गाउँदै गुनगुनाउँदै त्यो आइडिया मसँग सानैदेखि नै थियो. दोज वर नट गुड सङ्ग्स बाई द वे होइन अब त्यति बेलाको, तर सम मेलोडिज स्टिल प्ले इन माई हेड.
Okay.
आई थिङ्क 11, 10,
10, 11 देखि.
10, 11 देखि.
So then you started to like properly write songs.
हजुर.
Okay, question for you. So about you write songs about maybe situationally लेख्छौ होला, or maybe you may have maybe a feeling, or maybe I don't know. Or त्यो दिन अफिसबाट पैसा दिएन भनेर maybe I don't know, maybe that's the day you came up with गेडे जस्तो जिन्दगी. I don't know what you did होइन. तर is there like a feel for you, like अब म or does it come naturally to you? For example, you're traveling and all of a sudden like be like, you know what, मलाई यो कुरा मन पर्यो, म गीत लेख्छु कि do you sort of plan that? कसरी how do you formulate that?
I think it comes naturally to me that किनकि कुनै timing and all needs हुँदैन होइन. I just want to create भित्रको emotionsहरू I just want to share through music. If I go and talk about it, त्यो मैले भन्नै नसक्ने नि हुनसक्छ, because I'm not a good talker. मैले मेरो वर्ड्सहरूलाई मजाले प्याटर्न बनाएर मैले भन्नै सक्दैन. When I start talking, I just start talking. मैले स्टार्ट पनि भेट्दिनँ, एन्ड पनि भेट्दिनँ. बट when I write a song, it's really organized जस्तो फिल हुन्छ क्या. मैले भन्ने कुरा नि भन्छु, अनि मेरो कन्क्लुजन पनि दिन पाउँछु, अनि भित्रको कुराहरू के छ मैले सानोतिनो चेन्जेसहरू पनि ल्याउन सक्छु in a musical way. That is why I write songs. It's just that I want to make some noise in the world, and I do that by singing. If I go and start talking, then धेरै नै blah 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 हुँदै जान्छ बोल्दै गएर. So yeah.
Okay. Flirty Maya, how did you come about that song?
So these songs, the songs that work in life, these were all like 5 to 10 minutes songs.
Okay.
The songs जसले 5 देखि 10 मिनट लेखेको छ र त्यस्तो धेरै कुनै मैले धेरै मेहनत पनि गरेको छ जस्तो लाग्दैन. तर एट दि एन्ड यस्तै सङ्ग्सहरूमा चाहिँ मान्छेहरूले आफ्नो कनेक्सनहरू भेटेर मन पराएछन्. Flirty Maya is a song that I wrote in 2015, I guess. So म त्यही टोन म्युजिक स्टोरमै काम गरिरहेको बेला तिम्रो I had a loop station at that time. अनि त्यति बेला जुन हाम्रो अब रक म्युजिकहरू सुन्ने सबैजना टोन म्युजिक स्टोरमा हामी त्यस्तै सुन्ने होला. There was one brother of mine, मेरो कलिग जो काम गर्थ्यो मसँग, अनि उसले वाह ब्रो यो गीत दामी छ यार भनेर भन्यो. जहाँ गएर यो गीत सुनाए पनि everyone liked that song. And for me it was just another song मलाई जुन गाउन रमाइलो भइरहेछ, and it was so easy to play. अनि गाउँदा one night हामी यतिकै बोइज नाइट आउट थियो, ठमेलमा बसिरहेको बेला, अनि we ended up I think we hit a couple of clubs, and then we ended up at a friend's house. And त्यहाँ गएर फेरि we started drinking. And त्यहाँ गर्दाखेरि अनि गिटारमा बजाउँदा अनि गीतहरू बजाउँदा मैले Flirty Maya बजाउन थालेँ फेरि, and same thing happened. These guys like love that song. अनि यो गीतको नाम चाहिँ मैले म परे पछि तिम्रो भन्छ, म परे पछि तिम्रो राख्न लागेको हो भनेर भन्दा nobody liked that name. के हो ब्रो यो पछि तिम्रो भएन, अझ क्याची हुनु पर्यो भनेर भन्यो. मैले खोइ यो गीत हल्का फ्लर्टी त फ्लर्टी छ, अलिकति फ्लर्टी टाइपको छ यो गीत भनेर भन्दाखेरि अर्को एउटा साइ वाज सो ड्रङ्क. It was just त्यो ढलिरहेको मान्छे हुन्छ नि, अनि just woke up होइन, जुरुक्क उठ्यो, अन्डरटेकर टाइपमा उठ्यो, अनि Flirty Maya भन्न थाल्यो कि was so drunk. आँखा चिम्लेर Flirty Maya भन्न थाल्यो, अनि जुरुक्क के Flirty Maya अब कहाँ राख्ने यस्तो Flirty Maya. बल्ल उठ्यो एक त जिस्काउँदा Flirty Maya मेजोरिटी भन्दा ग्रुपमै Flirty Maya आउन थाल्यो, सबजना कराउन थाल्यो. ओके तिमीहरू यतिकै कराउँछस् भने यो गीतको नाम म Flirty Maya राखिदिन्छु, रेकर्ड पनि गरिदिन्छु भनेर. देन इट ह्यापन बिकज यु नो त्यो गीतमा Flirty Maya कहीँ भनेकै त छैन. सो इट वर्कड.
पहिला जस्तो त्यो पहिलाको म्युजिकमा चाहिँ द टाइटल अफ द सङ had to be sort of like a part of the lyrics, or maybe standards हुन्थ्यो होला पहिला, तर पछि आएर त as long as it gets some sort of attention, something that's different. अर्को question, गेडे जस्तो जिन्दगी, what is that about? How did that come about?
अब जुन नेपालमा एउटा स्ल्याङ छ वी अल नो कि यो कस्तो छ भन्दा यो गेडा जस्तो छ अरे काम छैन सो आई युज टु हेभ द्याट स्ल्याङ अल द टाइम यो गेडा जस्तो छ यार यो भन्ने केही कुरालाई हामीले केही अब अलिकति अलिकति त्यस्तै तरिकाले डिफाइन गर्नु पर्यो भने ट्र्यासी छ भन्न खोजे अब खास चाहिँ मेनली राइट मेरो लाइफ अलिकति त्यो बेला ट्र्यासी नै थियो आई वाज अ सिटी ट्र्यास गाई अब जुन हामी गल्लीतिर हुर्किने होइन ड्रिमर्स भनौँ न ड्रिम देख्ने हल्का वालमा पेन्ट गर्ने अलिकति रेबेलियस काइन्ड अफ पिपल भनौँ न अनि त्यति बेला अब आई युज टु थिङ्क साथीभाइहरू छ त्यही भिजा लाग्ने अनि भिजा लागेपछि पार्टी एक दिनुपर्ने पार्टी दिएपछि ओ माई गॉड यसको भिजा लाग्यो होइन पार्टी दिने गयो विदेश एयरपोर्ट छोड्न गयो अनि त्यसपछि 2-3 महिनापछि फेरि नेपालको के छ हालखबर भनेर टेक्स्ट गर्ने म चाहिँ एक गइसकेपछि त बाहिर मोज गर्न फेरि किन नेपालकै बारेमा सोच्छस् हाम्रो चाहिँ त्यस्तो कुराहरू भइरहन्थ्यो कि अनि त्यो एउटा आइडिया मेरो लाइफमा बसेको थियो अनि त्यतिखेर जागिर पनि थिएन
ओके
होइन अनि यताउता हुँदा हुँदा लाइफ अलिकति गेडे जस्तो चलिरहेको थियो भनौँ न लिटरली अनि लास्टमा ट्राभल कहाँ गरेछु है म त अहिलेसम्म इन्डिया नै गएको छैन होइन केटाहरू प्लेन चढेर उडिरहेछ अनि त्यो हुँदा 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 त्यो गीत चाहिँ मैले एक दिन यत्तिकै स्टोरको कौसीमा गएर आई वाज देयर फर अ स्मोक ब्रेक अनि गिटार थियो मसँग एउटा अनि यत्तिकै मोबाइलमा बसेर लेखेँ धेरै जस्तो साथी अस्ट्रेलिया होइन बिकज लट अफ फ्रेन्ड्स इन अस्ट्रेलिया एट द्याट टाइम कोही चाइना कोही जापान मलेसिया द्याट्स वाट आइ एम एक्सप्लेनिङ इज अस्ट्रेलिया इज द फर्स्ट चोइस त्यसपछि जापान छ होइन अनि मलेसिया छ यताउता जस्ट विदेशै जानु छ सबैजनालाई होइन नत्र यहाँ त केही फ्युचरै छैन अनि त्यस्तो चाहिँ हुँदा हुँदा लास्टमा त अनि सबैजना मस्ती गरिरहेछन् होइन सबैजना गर्लफ्रेन्ड घुमाइरहेछन् यताउता सो आई त्यो एउटा लोनर गाईको क्यारेक्टर पोर्ट्रे गरेँ मैले त्यो सङमा
ओके
आफू भने अहिलेसम्म इन्डिया नि गएको छैन आफूले भने अहिलेसम्म राम्ररी मोही पनि खाएको छैन होइन यस्तो यस्तो कुराहरू यु नो आई स्टार्टेड राइटिङ अनि रियली भाइब भयो अनि फेसबुकमा अपलोड गरेपछि देयर वाज अ लट अफ इङ्गेजमेन्ट क्या there were a lot of people writing about it. Oh my God, like tagging other people. The same, हाम्रो जस्तो life रहेछ हाम्रो जस्तै यस्तै छ हाम्रो जिन्दगी भन्दा it started getting a lot of traction अनि मलाई यसको रेकर्डिङ पनि फाइल चाहियो हामीलाई रेकर्डिङ पनि सुन्नु पर्यो I started मैले घरमै बसेर I started using मेरो home setup and I put out that song on YouTube. It did great. Doesn't have a video. मैले just take tone music. If you look at the video of that song, त्यो कमलादीको माथि गएर मैले मोबाइलबाट सट्ट खिचेर घरमा लगाएर मैले राखेँ त्यसले नै अब I think it nearly has 8 or 9, 10 million views right now, right? अनि people love that song. अनि yeah, it was one of my greatest songs त्यति बेला. Still sing it. I still sing it to the day, and people love that song.
It resonates with a lot of people.
Happened.
Right?
Happened.
Hopefully, I'm not going to get you in trouble with the next question.
हजुर.
Asma. यो वास्तविक जिन्दगीसँग मेल खाएको कुरा हो कि यो के हो किनभने हाम्रो इरामा के हो भने or even like till now गिटार लियो एउटा केटी मन पराछ त्यो केटीको बारेमा गीत लेख्दै छ हैन
हजुर
but that's what I'm saying like I'm hoping I'm not getting you in trouble in any ways but can we talk about that a little bit
yeah of course we can talk about it. I'm not getting in trouble because my life that I have right now is completely transparent with my family. I have my girlfriend touring with me all around the world, she takes care of me every time, and my family, my mother, she's always there. So, there was a friend of mine at that time. Her name was Asma. I never told the same story when they were asking me back in time because I didn't want to bring her in the picture. So, yeah, I wrote that song. I just tried to make a song so that I could lift her mood, and because I was not that good of a guy at that time, I made some mistakes, and I think really broke her heart. Maybe it was not clicking, like when it doesn't, your personalities don't match, things happen, right?
It's part of life.
It's part of life.
Part of life. It's
So
unfortunate. It's part of life,
yeah,
and
exactly.
move on, right?
Move
But that
on.
what you're gonna go, it can stay in the past. But okay,
I drifted away at those times, and I just wrote a song to, just gel her up. It was not hard for me to write a song because
sure,
when I'm in the mood, I can do that. But yeah, people really love that song, yeah, still we sing it to the day.
yeah,
About
it's pretty popular actually. मैले आज बिहान आउँदाखेरि when I was about to pick you up,
also,
I actually was listening to that and Flirty Maya, by the way. So again, it's a nice song,
it's
right?
a nice song. Yeah.
Ani so about obviously Neetesh, as you have टाइम जसरी इभल्भ भइरहेछ म्युजिक पनि त्यसरी नै इभल्भ भइरहेछ होइन
हजुर।
अनि अब अभियसली यु 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 बिन एट द सेन्टर अफ इट अनि अहिले आएर has there been any major changes compared to where you started like आफ्नो एउटा थट प्रोसेस हुन्छ नि त ओके मेरो यो सर्टन प्याटर्न छ यस्तो गर्छु होइन भोलि गएर ओके आई वान्ट इन्ट्रोड्युस मेबी सम अदर इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट ओर हाउ हेज योर म्युजिक इभल्भड पहिलाको कम्पेरिजनमा
Number one thing, our music changes as we grow up, but we mature and the music matures as well. The creation is a part of yourself. Music kukurama we evolve. सबैजना गर्छ तर अहिले आएर मैले बुझेको चाहिँ I have a lot of genres. मैले धेरै कुरामा एक्सपेरिमेन्ट गर्न पाएको छु धेरैजना म्युजिसियनसँग काम गर्न पाएको छु and I'm really fortunate about that. But I see now the audience, they evolve as well. When we used to listen to songs 10 years ago, now we might not connect to those songs. Yes, of course, the nostalgia is there. When we hear an old song, we always go back to that time and remember the good old days, right?
Right.
But when I'm really talking about the taste of music, they evolve, and the audience evolves as well. Their changes, their taste changes, their preferences change. There are young artists coming up. Of course, the young people will resonate with the young artists. And now I'm trying to get at a point where I find the balance between the audience's perspective and my perspective. I want to evolve as well, but I want to have that fact in my head. Okay, the audience has grown as well. So how can I cope up with it? In a business side, it is really necessary. But when you're just following your heart doing music, I don't follow those ideas. When I just want to sing or have fun, I don't care about the latest trends or whatever. But if I have to work on the business side, of course, I have to get these terms in my head. Okay, everything has changed. My music has evolved. I'm playing a little bit. I'm a little bit serious now when I play. I really honor my guitar. I practice. I try to, because just 5-6 years ago, I was just using that capo on my guitar and just using my pick and just playing some rhythms, right? त्यति बेला मलाई imposter पनि भयो एउटा कुराले. Am I doing the right thing? Because I was just practicing and putting out songs, but यही नै मेरो biggest songsहरू भइदियो. Why? Because म त भर्खर learn गर्दै थिएँ. मेरो peakमा म पुग्नै बाँकी छ. तर किन त? I started hating myself a lot, like, because this is not मैले यसरी चल्न खोजेको थिएन आफूले आफू.
Right.
I was just म त just एउटा बाटो खोज्दै थिएँ to prove myself कि I can do something. And now that I think of it, मैले actually एउटा Facebook post पनि गरेको थिएँ कि okay, my Nepali music is going to conclude for some time, for a change kind of. And अहिले किन कति बेला सोच्थेँ कि किन गरेको थियो. But now that I think of it, I did the right thing, because now when I play different. I honor it. I'm serious about my music. Every note I play is really dedicated to the critiques as well. Okay, critically सुन्छ नि music. Yeah, it has changed. It has matured. My music has not changed, I guess. I want to bring new energy all the time, but it has evolved in a way where they can find me matured. alikati. That if it explains, you could have मैले त्यही नै भन्न चाहन्छु, you know, I've matured भन्न
So,
चाहन्छु.
so that's actually one of my things I was going to ask you about. I did read about that briefly at the time, the 2022 ko kura, right?
हजुर.
So, what exactly happened when you, त्यो point सम्म पुग्नलाई, you have to go through some sort of you have to go through something, I think, right? To make like almost like it's a in some ways I mean नेपालीहरूलाई the controversial line नै हुन्छ नि त, म अब नेपाली आर्टिस्ट, म नेपाली गीत गाउँदिनँ, अब यसमा this I'm concluding my नेपाली song career भन्ने कुरा बित्तिकै अब people can get offended, you know, reason होला आफ्नो होला नहोला. What led you to that point where you decided कि, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore?
Because I thought I'm capable of a lot of things. I can learn, and I can bring the best version of myself. But the songs that worked, these songs are not me. 5 minutes, 10 minutes songs ma jun ma jiskiraheko thiएँ, those songs became my biggest hit. And when I'm really working hard inside the studio and trying to collaborate with a lot of artists, bringing out a lot of genres, you know, these are not working. The spiral ma jana thale ke ma, where I found myself confused, and I had that imposter with myself. Okay, this is not me. The songs that you're listening and the songs that I'm playing live, what am I doing? Like, there's no challenge here. It's so easy. And people think this is my identity. And I really wanted to kill that identity at that time, you know? I really wanted to restart. Because it hasn't, like when you hit the factory reset button in a phone, everything goes away, but the phone still stays ni da.
Right.
Phone the dead though then. So I think that was my factory reset button that I did. And I lost a lot of fans at that time, a lot of fans. But I'm in a good position right now where I write music, I do music, and I'm serious in it. I do the same old songs, but in a different way.
Okay.
And I really wanted to erase that identity at that time, which I might be wrong, but I really hated myself. The things that I'm doing, the things that you're liking is average. And I'm average. And I don't want to be known like this. I want to challenge myself with new things. I want to bring some new taste. I want to put an impact in the Western side of music industry, in the foreign side of music industry. I wanted to collaborate with other artists, you know, put my nation on the map. That is what I wanted to do. But that line kind of, you know, kind of comes back to me all the time right now as well. And I wanted to be humble and tell them, okay, I'm not doing this for my ego or whatever. Don't think like that. I just want to challenge myself. I just want to bring some new things on the table so that there are new things to look into. And I think as a human being, you need to do that. I just didn't need to announce that. I did.
Right.
Because I was feeling really lonely at that time, and I needed a little bit of validation and attention, I think. And my father was passing away. My father was dying at that time. I was saying that every day. The kid in me was searching for a father figure. Okay. And I searched that in the audience diaspora, you know. That is what I think.
So it was a culmination of a lot of things maybe weighing on you. And plus of afno close ones like your father, when you're going through that moment, it's understandable. It's understandable. I also know that you took a break for like a little bit, right? Because हामीले कति कुरा realize गर्दैनौँ भने अब as you get older, and we've talked about this, as you get older, the reality, the harsh reality of life is you're going to go through shit. It just the truth is that's the truth, right? But hopefully when you hit those tough times, maybe you've like wised up enough. So from your experiences, so you can sort of like get to the other side, right? So अलिकति मलाई के कुरा गर्नु मन थियो भने could you share like like you were talking about factory reset, was it 3 years that you took a break for?
Yeah,
How long was it? 3 years.
almost 3
3
years.
years, right?
Also,
What led you to take the break, and when you came out onto the other side after that, like what transformed in you?
the reason I took a break was I really wanted to enjoy life for some time, because being broke and being lost, you don't have anything, any purpose. Everybody's doubting you. It weighs on you for some time. And that was a chip on my shoulder for a long time. And when I put all the marbles on the table and just take lottery laksani, like when everything is returned to you, I wanted to enjoy. I wanted to spend my money, eat anything I want, go anywhere I want, because that was the dream, right? And मलाई कस्तो feel भयो भने I'm just going here and there playing. What am I doing for myself? Am I reading? Am I writing? Am I upgrading myself? Updating myself? The questions were there. And when I used to talk about my feelings with people, I came to a realization where I knew no one really cares about you. Everybody's busy in their own lives. Why am I trying to put all the weight on my shoulders? Let me enjoy for some time. Let me forget everything, even music. Let's listen to a good song now. Why do we always have that pressure? Okay, we need to make a song like this. We need to go into the studio. No, this time, let's just be that 10-year-old, And then I stopped everything for some time. And then I started enjoying life. I used to drive, I used to ride, I used to buy things, because these were the fruits of my hard work. And dad was not there as well. I wanted to be with my mother too. And yeah, I had a great time. And then writing, I did a lot of reading. Getting insights from other people, and traveling, exploring my country, which is really beautiful. And that brought a new side of me, I think that matured me. Traveling really matures people, I guess. And same thing happened to me.
Okay. Well, obviously, when you were working at, you were a car salesman, basically, right? Car salesman, and you point some money. You're relatively this obscure guy about in the music industry. You're just one of the ones that has not been discovered at this point in time, right? To point the obviously people know you. You have like millions of views on YouTube. People appreciate the music, and they also appreciate the fact that you're not a you were one of the commoners basically that kind of came up through the system in some ways.
Yeah.
Family, like what has that taught you? Like, does it aligati about you kind of fly a little bit? You have to, like, it's just a human nature unta, हैन? What has that taught you? And sometimes do you kind of have like a self-reflection moments where you think, okay, Neetesh, at the end of the day, you're a human. What has fame taught you?
Yeah, you're very right. You fly like a kite at that time, and the same people that are going to bring you up will be the same people that are going to bring you down, because you should not make any mistake when you're up there. मलाई पनि हुन्छ कि त्यस्तो, when I see a person really underrated struggling, when they do something good and everyone starts to recognize that person, after some time you feel like, okay, this person is changing. That's the human mindset, I guess. Human perspective चाहिँ यस्तो हुन्छ कि त्यो हसल गरिरहेको, स्ट्रगल गरिरहेको मान्छेलाई हामी एकदम माया गर्छौँ. एकदम माया गर्छौँ हामी. But when that person makes it and starts to blossom, there are going to be a lot of people trying to pull that person down. Same thing happened to me. Same thing happens to everybody, I guess. And fame has taught me to be kind of stay underrated, low key, and really driven towards what your goal is.
Mm.
Right now, people love me, people hate me. I don't have control over that.
Mm.
Somebody comes up to me and says, Ki, I really like your music. I'm really thankful. Somebody writes, okay, I hate this guy. I'm really thankful. What can I do? Because I cannot control that. And in life as well, in all areas, I'm kind of patient about it. यो फेमले मलाई फेम नभएको भए म फेमस मेरो गीतहरू नचलेको भए मैले कहिले पनि यो कुरा सिक्नै पाउँथेन होला. You know, that would be unfortunate. अहिले I'm fortunate enough to say कि okay, I have some patience.
Okay.
People can say bad things. People can say good things. Now that I know, okay, it should not control you.
Right.
I know. Yeah. It's like
people will be people.
Everyone will. We will start loving somebody, but after some time, we might dislike that person.
Human nature.
In nature, right? And that person doesn't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't have any control over them, but I should have control over myself. I should not lose myself. So that is what fame has taught me.
Okay. Do you miss the simplistic days before you got famous? Like, like do you miss any part of that life?
Of course, but once you start getting famous, you start to think, you start to have that trust issues with people.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't just trust anybody. But when you're nothing, trust is the only thing you have. You trust everybody.
Okay.
Anybody, you go anywhere. I miss that time. But yeah, I didn't have anything. Right now, I'm a guy who can provide for himself, who can work. And the mindset has really grown.
Okay.
But I really miss the simplicity of being no one on the road, just walking and feeling like you own the world kind of thing. Now I go out, I feel like I own the world, and then I meet somebody and okay, hello bro, can I have a selfie with you? And then it flips. So 2 moments I miss where I used to dictate my day. Now I cannot dictate my day on my own, I have to go out, meet people. I meet a lot of people, tour, that's my job. And yeah, kind of, it is a mix of unsureness and I don't know, conscious and unconscious at the same time, that is what I feel right now. I'm conscious about myself, but when I go out, I'm unsure about the people. So I have to put on a good side in front of them. I have to entertain them.
Okay.
So yeah, I think every entertainer goes through this phase.
Okay. I think one of the things with human minds, or Hamro, just how are we set up? Once you hit like a certain success, right? Like you're at a base month, like now you want to kind of create another that's going to go, bigger and larger than what was created before. But you had tremendous hits with like a lot of the music that you had. Do you challenge yourself? Like, is there a barometer where you choose, okay, मैले यहाँसम्म गरेछु, like मेरो, I don't know, like 25 million views. So next one I'm going to create that's going to hit like 75 million. Do you think from those perspectives, or from your perspective, is it just I want to focus on creativity and views I don't really care about? Like, how do you look into that a little bit?
Of course, as a sales guy, numbers matter, right?
Yeah.
But views, it didn't really matter for me since the start. I've always been saying the same thing. I can see the best song with just 100 of views, and I can see the worst song of the year having like 200 million views. These days, numbers don't align with the magic of art. These days, it's all about creating that engagement, that vibe, that the adrenaline with people. So I don't relate to the views because my songs don't have that much views compared to other people uh, at this time. But art is really outside of that. Art cannot be measured, and I want to stay that way.
Do you have any measurement भन्नाले अब आफ्नो एउटा human thoughts हुन्छ नि त, like for
हजुर.
example if you go into a एउटा gig कतै गरेछ, like let's say Texas or like in Virginia, right? About of course as an artist I think you would probably want your audience to be a large one, so you're entertaining more people. Of course, to desire to huncha होला,
Of course.
that's right. And so,
हजुर.
but for you, like views and all that, those metrics don't really matter to you as much.
100%. I want so many people. I want a lot of people to come to my shows and enjoy, share their views with me. I look at the comments as well sometimes. I talk to people, and when they share their intimate stories with me, and then I really feel proud of myself. Okay, I'm doing the right thing. Some people say like your music is like therapy. And for me, I was going through a dark phase, and I just think your music talks to me, and it brought me back to the golden days again. It brought me back to light. I hear a lot of people say that. When I hear from them, I feel okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing this for the same reason I fell in love with music. I fell in love with music because I was a lonely guy in the corner, in the shadows, and I found some light from these songs, right? And if these people are finding some light in my songs, in my music, then I think I've got the job done. The views, the numbers, the concert tickets and all, I don't have that because I don't think that is my forte, if I'm using the right word, right? But when people share their feelings with me, their emotions, when I see tears in their eyes when I'm singing to them, I feel okay, this is why I'm here. I think I'm like a messiah to them, So that is my purpose.
Okay.
But views, they always, like
course.
when they bring a lot of attention, they bring
Sure.
a lot of money.
Sure.
That's always great.
Of course.
But the first and foremost thing is your message being heard? The reason I told you, मैले गीत मन पराएको, मैले म्युजिक मन पराएको नै म एक्लो बच्चा थिएँ जो मेरो गीतको मेरो स्याडनेसको टाइम, इभन म ठुलो भएपछि पनि कति टाइममा म यताउता धोका पाएको जस्तो लाग्दा, लाइफमा अलिकति गिरेको जस्तो लाग्दा, यो सङ्ग्सहरू, these songs were my friends, मेरो best friends थियो, because I really literally felt like okay, these songs are talking to me, and we are having a conversation here. हामी बोलिरहेको छौँ यो गीतसँग, and the artist resonates my feelings, त्यो feel हुन्थ्यो. अनि if the same thing is happening to these people, जुन कुरा मलाई भएको थियो र मेरो गीतले उनीहरूलाई भइरहेछ भन्यो नि त, the equation is right मेरो केसमा. So I really feel happy,
Okay. एउटा यो इराको प्रब्लम भनौँ, social media, YouTube देखि लिएर, you have all these gadgets. अहिलेसँग अब हामी पो हुर्किँदाखेरि like you had maybe हामी त्यो deck भन्थ्यो नि पुरा, like त्यो VCR. That's the era that we sort of grew. At least I grew up in that. And त्यसपछि CD आयो, त्यसपछि like internet, हामी dial-up connection को इन्टरनेटमा chat गर्थ्यो nepalnews.com मा, त्यो इराबाट हुँदा त्यो generation, right? Now you can download YouTube को जुन when you have like the subscription, you can download a song or like even a movie in like 5 seconds, right? Or whatever that is. So त्यसको एउटा problem के हुन्छ भने हामीसँग attention span नै छैन, right? Maybe there are millions of the best artists that are out there. Discover हुने chances कम छ किनभने हाम्रो जुन audience को एउटा attention span छैन नि त. Like what do you do, right? So someone who's come through the system, अहिलेको लागि some of the biggest challenge for independent artists, like what do you think is like a challenge for those people that are still trying to make it, that are pursuing the dream that you did?
Promoting. It's the promotion. Music, को कुरामा, art को कुरामा सबै कुरा subjective हुन्छ. Some things you like, some things you don't. That is always going to stay there, right? Art is always subjective. हरेक era change हुन्छ, हरेक sound change हुन्छ. Of course, there are going to be people who are going to criticize it. Right now, we love music from the 80s. We love it. किनकि त्यो टाइम हाम्रो एउटा टाइम थियो 80s 90s को टाइम अथवा 2000s, राइट? त्यो म्युजिक लभ. तर त्यति बेलाको त्यही पुरानो जेनेरेसनहरूले त्यही म्युजिक क्रिटिसाइज पनि गरिरहेको थियो. हाम्रो टाइममा यस्तो म्युजिक थियो, अहिलेको बच्चाहरू के भयो. सो इट्स अलवेज गन स्टे देयर. तर अहिलेको च्यालेन्ज चाहिँ इट्स प्रमोटिङ. अब आर्टिस्ट आर नर्मली मैले देखेको धेरै जस्तो इन्ट्रोभर्ट्स हुन्छन्, भित्र लुकेर बसिरहेको मान्छेहरू हुन्छन्. अनि एकैचोटि उनीहरूले एउटा गीतहरूको बनाउने गर्दाखेरि पहिला पहिला चाहिँ दे जस्ट युज टु पुट आउट देयर म्युजिक. अनि धेरै एक्सप्रेसिभ बन्न नखोज्ने, अलिकति लो की पनि बस्थे. अनि रेकर्ड साइन्सहरू, रेकर्ड लेभल डिल्सहरूसँग साइन गरेर भए पनि अलिअलि भए पनि आफूले आफूलाई देखाउँथे, तर लो की बस्थे. तर अब अहिलेको जमानामा चाहिँ द अटेन्सन स्प्यान इज रियली लो. होइन, 15 सेकेन्ड्समा हजुर सब देखाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ. सो एउटा गीत निकालेपछि हजुरले 20-25 वटा कन्टेन्ट्सहरू त अब दिस पिपल सबैजना 20-25 वटा कन्टेन्ट्सहरू त उनीहरूले अब प्रमोसनमै बनाइरहनु पर्छ. अब त्यहाँ आफूले आफूलाई देखाइरहनु पर्यो. त्यस्तो मान्छे नै नहुन सक्छ नि त ऊ त, राइट? ऊ त एउटा लो की मजाले म्युजिक मात्रै निकाल्ने आफ्नो सुरमा बस्ने मान्छे हुनसक्छ. तर ऊ आएर त्यहाँ घरि लिरिकल भिडियो बनाएर प्रमोट गर्छ, घरि केही ट्रेन्ड बनाउन खोज्छ उसले, घरि केही डान्स. अब अस्ति मैले नै एउटा कुरामा नाचिरहेको थिएँ. आइम नेभर गोना डु द्याट.
त्यो लास्ट सङ,
एक्ज्याक्टली, आइम नेभर गोना, मैले भनिसकेको छु. सो आइम नेभर गोना डु द्याट. म यो गर्नेवाला हुन्छ. सो yeah, these are the challenges that we need to face these days. And you just youngsters जुन यिनीहरू अब जन्मिनै रहेको छ, कति कसको कतिवटा फलोवर्स छ, राइट? अब पहिला पहिला तेरो कतिवटा साथी छ भन्ने कुरा हुन्थ्यो, राइट? अहिले कतिवटा फलोवर्स छ भन्ने कुरा हुन्छ, होइन? सो यसरी इभल्भ भइरहेको बेला चाहिँ आई थिङ्क द प्रमोसन, द क्याम्पेन द्याट दिस गाइज हेभ टु डु इज really challenging. They might need to change their personalities. I suggest not to, but के गर्ने त, अब जवानै त्यसरी चलिरहेछ. So yeah, that's the challenge.
Okay. अब अहिले आएर अब स्ट्रिमिङ र सोसल मिडिया छ. अब of course you kind of came through that system, right?
Right.
अब त्यो कुराले गर्दाखेरि अब त्यसले हेल्प गरेको छ. Obviously it helped you. Overall, is that a positive? Do you feel the positive kura nahi ho, like for the music industry?
Can you repeat that again?
So, streaming or social media, wherever you have artists, right? So when you came through the system, it definitely helped you. But in the large scheme of things, there's a lot of artists that are out there. But when I like to overall, do you think social media is really, really helpful in getting these people discovered? Just to feel on there's also ways it's hurting them. Just to feel on
50-50 छ त. That's a really good question that you felt. हजुरले फिल गर्नु भएको रहेछ यो कुराको. हामी जहिले कुरा गर्दै सोसल मिडिया इज हेल्पिङमै भनिरहेको हुन्छ नि त. देयर इज अ डार्क साइड टु इट एज वेल. जुन पहिला पनि थियो, भिडियो किल द रेडियो स्टार भन्ने त्यत्रो फेमस लाइनै छ नि. सो या त्यो एउटाले एउटालाई खाँदै जान्छ. सो अहिले अब सोसल मिडियाको स्ट्रिमिङ पनि अस्तिसम्म जुन बुमिङ एजमा हुँदाखेरि त्यति बेलाको जुन फेजमा देयर थोरै थोरै मान्छेहरू जहाँ now there's a lot of fish in the sea. So त्यत्रो मान्छेहरूको बिचमा म कसरी युनिक हुने, त्यो च्यालेन्ज छ के. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि कहिले काहीँ आफ्नो मान्छेले आफ्नो पर्सनालिटीलाई कहाँ पुऱ्याइरहनु सक्छ आफूले एउटा क्यारेक्टर बिल्डअप गर्दा गर्दा गर्दा. सो गुड साइड इज देयर इज अ लट अफ पिपल एन्ड द ब्याड साइड इज देयर इज अ लट अफ पिपल. यु नो, लाइक इफ इट वर्क्स सबजनाले सुन्यो, if it doesn't, सबजनाको अगाडि बेइज्जत भयो. So that is the pressure that these guys have right at this moment. And artists are already vulnerable हुन्छ. यो फिल्डै अलिकति कसैले अलिकति इन्सिक्योर हुन्छ क्या. यो आर्टिस्ट जातै त्यही हो, अलिकति कसैले भनिदिनु मनमा चसक्क परिहाल्ने. सो त्यही भएर नि यो फिल्ड छाने आयो उनीहरूले. अरू केहीमा मेरो भएन, म केही न केही डिफ्रेन्ट गर्छु भनेर त क्रिएसनमा लाग्छ नि. सो त्यो फेजमा चाहिँ आई थिङ्क यो स्ट्रिमिङ एन्ड अल यो सबै एप्लिकेसन्सहरूको कुरा जुन जति इज उनीहरूले ल्याएको छ त्यत्तिकै धेरै भनरेबिलिटी पनि दिइरहेछ, जसले गर्दा उनीहरूलाई गाह्रो चाहिँ हुन्छ.
ओके, होइन, इट मेक्स सेन्स. किनभने you're putting yourself out there and there's a lot of layers to that. एउटा कुरा अब, so Neetesh, I really connected with you on एउटा कुरा, like अब हाम्रो recent events नेपालमा जे कुरा भयो, like that was, how do I say it? I'm trying to bring up like your post here. Just give me a second. त्यतिखेर I really felt connected with you. कुन हिसाबमा भने अब in some ways हामी त्यही इराकै मान्छे हौ. म I'm going to read out this a little bit if I have your permission.
Sure, then.
होइन? So यो चाहिँ नितेशको Instagramमा पनि छ. So if anyone has not seen this, you can read this. And I quote, "This is 2025 and I'm in my 30s right now, millennial. There are infinite beautiful memories growing up here in Nepal. The motherland has given us so much. But the truth be told to you all, my generation is still traumatized by the news of the Royal Massacre, 2001, and its aftermath, 10 years of civil war till 2006, 18 hours a day of load shedding and power cutoff, insensitive bullying by the authorities, 2015 earthquake, the nationwide blockade, lack of job business opportunities for normal households, and so many other ongoing strikes of political parties which affected our lives in one way or the other. Due to the failures in businesses, we had to lose our home. Until now, building a house in Kathmandu has been close to impossible. Yes, I'm also one of the families where the father had to leave the country to work in the Middle East to fund my studies and our daily expenses. After I failed Nepal Army selection test, like many of my friends, I also wanted to go to countries like the US, UK, and Australia to redesign my life. But my parents straightly denied those requests because they didn't have the funds to facilitate those desires of mine. Then I made a decision to leave my job to follow my dream as a musician. It took a long time to actually see some light, but thank God we had the internet to share our contents with others. By God's grace, I was recognized by the people and their love and support that has brought me here. On the run, I've made many mistakes. When you're young and restless and you have a feeling you made it, you think you're invincible. And lose your balance. That's happened to me as well, and I'm humble enough to admit that. My point is, Nepal has given me a life, a family, a reason to continue every single time. She is and will always be the most beautiful country for me, but it's easy to say those things when you're living in the city. Just a few miles away, things are not okay. Education, transportation, capital, electricity, job opportunities, etc. are dimmed. Every time someone stands up as a leader, people have high hopes. But as time goes by, the hope dies. As we mature, we come to realize that it's not just our leaders, but the whole system we've created. Corruption and blame gaming has reached its peak. Third parties are dictating the prices of land, goods, and other materials. Rather than feeling safe, people have to fear the authorities. I'm not saying everyone is like that, but there are faithful and visionary people also. But they're overshadowed by the ones with ill intentions. I feel the September 8th protest led by Gen Z was written in the stars. Back in the day, we also went down on the streets to protest against corruption, but due to the primitive state of social media, it couldn't be that effective. But September 8th, Monday, had that aura. I felt so proud of Generation Z because they spoke when they had to. Everyone saw the wrong that was happening. It's 2025 and the world has changed. You can't be sitting on the leader's chair with the thought of just facilitating your personal growth when the whole country is suffering and thousands of people are leaving the country on a daily basis. Freedom of speech cannot be controlled. The protest was totally valid. But all of a sudden, I started to hear about young kids getting shot in the head. At first, I thought it was fake news. But once pictures started circulating, all hell broke loose. By the end of the day, you hear the total number of confirmed deaths was 19 and more than 400 injured in their way of terror. Our hearts were broken. I had a feeling now this was not about Gen Z and their protests anymore. This was war. You can't give orders to kill your own people and kids. They didn't even think about their lives, their future, their families whose lives changed forever and were remained with scattered hearts. Everyone knows this was a straight up terror. Let us make it clear to you that no property is bigger than human lives. That is why I understood when they burned the Parliament House. Of course, it was our nation's property, but for many, that place will always remain as that dark place from where the government shot our people, our kids in the head. Who would want to go and work there? If you want to work, you need a will and strong belief, which is much bigger than a gigantic office. I prefer not to talk about other state property because the day of 9th September, Tuesday, was the day of judgment. This was not about Gen Z anymore. This was about the people who've been suppressed for years and years and years. If you were on the street, you could actually feel the eruption. We all know if the killings of innocents were done, none of this would have happened. No one is bigger than the people and their voices. Now everyone knows what happens when you try to cross the limit. People with responsibilities will think twice before committing to something wrong now. Discipline should be the topmost priority. I've also archived my contents related to our aggression cause now there's no use of promoting such incidents. Every one of us feels uneasy to witness destruction, but we all know how it started and why it ended like that. Of course, there has been some circulating political controversies regarding what happened and also the opening of the prison gate, but let them be warned. Never ever cross the line, surrender, or stay humble. We Nepalis have suffered enough and now we stand united. The Gen Z revolution has marked a rude awakening for wickedness, immorality, depravity, corruption, villainy, iniquity, and wrongdoing. And if the people are willing to choose the right team of leaders who will work for the betterment of Nepal, I would be more than willing to serve as a volunteer for the chosen ones because I've traveled to multiple developed countries and have witnessed how they work to develop their place both culturally and formally. More than leaders, there should be servants now. If one generation took Singapore from a third world country to first world, why can't we? Education and tourism must be the first priorities. If we work on building everything around education, tourism, discipline, effective security for the people, and sturdy rules against violation of our guidelines, then there's a possibility we make history repeat itself or a completely new one. I encourage everybody to share their stories and views on their profiles so that we can inspire each other for the better. Last but not the least, I request people to stop sharing untrue contents by turning their comments off for views and followers. Also, the involvement of some organizations by claiming it to be to their movement. No, this is the young generation's movement, and all of us need to support them by staying honest and loyal. Neetesh, the reason why I wrote to you was I read that, and I told you this too. I think when you go through that, हामी सबै नेपालीको I think you put it very well together. म भनेको पनि अब like I've lived here 20 years. I left my country when I was like a 19-year-old kid. I was 20. So when I saw the video of that kid getting shot and killed, and I saw another one where his friend is literally frustrated and he picks up. It's just such a graphic video, but also like I saw a part of myself. Like I saw myself because more like like the. So for me, it was one of us, right? What happened? Like, and I'm glad that in some ways it did happen. You know, एउटा हिसाबले चाहिँ एउटा transformation आएको छ. तर in your lens, just like what did you see? Like what happened? Like how did we get to this point?
If you ask me that, I have to go back. I think it was 2004, 5. I think 2000, 2001, 2002. त्यो टाइमदेखि मलाई याद छ कि अब when the Royal Massacre happened, we didn't get any answers. It was always there कि कसले के गरे. There was always हुन्छ नि यो rumors circulating, but we never got the answers. I know. And time बित्दै गयो, civil war and all. घरि को आउँछ घरमा यस्तो हुन्छ भनेर छ. Brothers and sisters are fighting with each other, killing each other, and dead bodies मा देखिरहेछ TV मा. And त्यो trauma कति जेनेरेसनले खप्न नसकेर हुन्छ नि ओ यो देश कसरी बस्ने म भनेर कति बाहिर गयो, परिवारसँग छुट्यो हैन. जब अपर्च्युनिटी छैन त्यो जेनेरेसनको मान्छेहरुसँग. घरि कोही ड्रग्स खाएर हिँडिरहेछ, कोही के गरिरहेछ, कोही लुटपाटमा लागिरहेछ. जस्ट फ्युचर यति छ कि डामाडोल भयो कि त्यही पनि ओके पिस आउँछ होला भनेर नि आउँदै गयो. एन्ड देन ओके अब के हट्ने हो, हटेर नयाँ सरकार बन्ला, नयाँ संविधान पनि बन्यो. अब त्यो त्यतिखेर बच्चाहरूले त बुझेको कुरा त होइन. तैपनि अब यताउता न्युज हेरेर बुझ्दै गइयो. लोड सेडिङ 18 घण्टाको सहेर बसियो. त्यो टाइममा एक्जाम दियो मैनबत्ती बालेर. लेटर अन फाउन्ड आउट कि यस्तो रिजनले भइरहेको थियो. कति कुराहरू छ त्यहाँ. जब अपर्च्युनिटिजहरू कुरा, एजुकेसन छैन हैन, मान्छेसँग कमाइ छैन, कोही केही गर्छु भन्ने मान्छेले केही गर्न पाइरहेको छैन. देयर वर लट्स अफ थिङ्स द्याट त्यति बेलाको कतिवटा जेनेरेसनै फ्रस्ट्रेटेड भयो. आई डोन्ट बिलोङ देयर. म त्यति बेला सानै थिएँ. तर त्यति बेलाको अब आई क्यान सी कि त्यति बेला भर्खर प्राइममा हुने यङ पिपलहरूलाई कस्तो भयो होला लाइफमा केही गर्छु भनेर बसिरहेको बेला देशको हालतै यस्तो चलिरहेछ होइन वार चलिरहेछ आफ्नै त्यो पनि कोही बाहिरको मान्छेसँग भन्दा नि युआर फाइटिङ विथ यर ओन पिपल एन्ड लुकिङ ब्याक एट इट नाउ अहिलेसम्म यो कुरा जुन यो जेनेरेसन जीको मुभमेन्टसम्म कसरी आइरहेछ भने इट्स यो उनीहरूको फ्यामिलीमै भइरहेको कुराहरू हो वेन दे वर ग्रोइङ अप एभ्रीबडी इज टकिङ अबाउट फ्रस्ट्रेसन उनीहरूको फ्यामिली मेम्बर पनि विदेश जान परिरहेछ छुट्टेर कमाउन परिरहेछ इभन माई फादर ह्याड टु गो आउट होइन एयरपोर्टमा यु सी हजुर ठ्याक्कै जाँदाखेरि एउटा टाइममा जानुहोस् ओ माई गड एयरपोर्ट के हो त्यो जस्तो लाग्छ होइन यतिजना मान्छे विदेश गइरहेछ रोइरहेछ होइन अब त्यो मान्छेहरू पनि त कहाँ एकैछिनमा अब हामीलाई यहाँदेखि त्यहाँसम्म छोड्न आएको हो र ल बाई बाई हेभ अ नाइस जर्नी भनेर जानलाई अब कति कहिले आउने हो थाहा नै छैन त्यो परिवारको मान्छे अनि त्यसो त बसिहाल्छ एक्ज्याक्टली इफ दे कम ब्याक राइट अलाइभ होइन झन् आएन भने नि 5-10 वर्ष त लागि नै हाल्छन् आउनलाई होइन उसले त लाइफ बनाउनु पर्यो विदेशमा जिरोबाट स्टार्ट गर्नु परेको छ फेरि जन्मे जस्तो हो त्यही भएर त सबजना त्यो भिजिटर्सहरू बसिरहेछ त अनि कहिले अब एकछिन भयो नि त्यो जानुभन्दा अगाडि पनि त एकछिन देख्नलाई त बसिरहेछ होइन किन कहिले आउने हो थाहा छैन आई क्यान टोटली रिलेट के किन भिड भइरहेछ एयरपोर्टमा अथवा कता कता कसरी गइरहेछ मान्छेहरू जङ्गल क्रस गरेर छिरिरहेछ घरि कता कता बोर्डरहरू क्रस गर्न कति गाह्रो छ मारिरहेछ त्यहाँ होइन उनीहरूलाई के कसैलाई केही मतलब छैन लिडरसिप यति डामाडोल भइसक्यो कि हाम्रो नट जस्ट द पोलिटिकल पार्टिज एन्ड लिडर्स होइन कि नेपालको हाम्रो देशमा हामीबाट नै हाम्रै घरदेखि लिएर सबैबाट करप्सन अब एउटा हाउस होल्ड नेम भइसक्यो कि जहाँ पनि केही इजी तरिकाले काम गराउनु छ भने हामी सबैजना अगाडि बढ्ने बिकज त्यहाँ फर्मली केही कुरा हुन्छ नि केही लको सिस्टमबाट जाने त केही कुरै हुँदैन कुनै कोही मान्छेहरू आउनु थाल्छ केही देशको लागि के राम्रो गर्छु यत्तिकै फ्रस्ट्रेट भएर जानुपर्ने सिचुएसन छ कसैले पनि केही देखाइरहेन होइन कसैले पनि केही सपोर्ट गरेर आएन उनीहरूलाई जहिले केही गर्छु भने अगाडि जान्छ सो यस्तो 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 केस भएर धेरै कुरा सहेर होइन लाइफै बर्बाद भएको हो कि जस्तो फिलबाट आउँदा 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 पनि अनि एउटा प्रोटेस्ट हुन्छ जुन एउटा यु नो द्याट ट्रेन्ड एउटा सोसियल मिडिया ट्रेन्डबाट स्टार्ट भएको थियो देन दे ब्यान द सोसियल मिडिया अनि त्यसपछि यो सोसियल मिडिया ब्यान गर्नु भने त इट्स लाइक चोकिङ द युथ उनीहरूको भोइसै बन्द गरिदिन खोजे जस्तो एन्ड सम पिपल आर अल्सो टकिङ अबाउट के नयाँ सोसियल एप हामी नै व्हाट द हेल आर यु टकिङ अबाउट कहाँ छौँ क्या हामी होइन सो यसरी यस्तो यस्तो हुँदा 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 ओके ब्यान गरेर एन्ड दिस गाइज स्टार्ट प्रोटेस्टिङ त्यो दिन म थापाथली एरियामै थिएँ आई वाज नट अराउन्ड माइतीघर फर्स्ट डे आई डोन्ट वान्ट बी देयर बिकज जेनजीको मुभमेन्ट हो होइन किन त हामी गएर यत्तिकै बसिरहनु सो आई वाज देयर त्यतिकै साथीभाइहरूसँग कुरा गर्दै बसिरहेको थिएँ प्रोटेस्टहरू देखिरहेको थिएँ माथिबाट सबै हेरिरहेको थिएँ काम पनि थियो मेरो त्यहाँ अनि हेरिरहेको थियो रमाइलो गरिरहेको थिएँ बच्चा बच्चीहरू होइन लाइक माइकबाट कराएर यताउता होइन कोही नाचिरहेको थिएँ कोही के जस्ट पप कल्चर यस्तो मजाले डिस्प्लेड थियो कि एट द्याट टाइम आई फेल्ट रियली प्राउड अफ द न्यू जेनेरेसन बिकज यिनीहरूसँग त यस्तो यस्तो ट्यालेन्ट छ यार होइन देखाउन नपाएको त हो नि त किनकि यिनीहरू त इन्टरनेटसँग हुर्केको बच्चा बच्चीहरू हो होइन द यङ्स्टर्स भनौँ न अनि यिनीहरूलाई त थाहा छ नि त अब हामी त त्यो बेला टाइममा हुर्केको बच्चाहरूले त कति कुराहरू सिक्न पायो सो यिनीहरू त झन् डिरेक्टली इन्टरनेटसँग हुर्किएको छ होइन सो यिनीहरू त झन् कस्तो ट्यालेन्टेड छ यिनीहरूसँग भोइस पो नभइरहेको त सो देख्दा 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 ओके अलिकति प्रोटेस्ट हो अलिअलि भइहाल्छ यताउता तानातुन देन आई स्टार्टेड हियरिङ द्याट अ किड गट सर्ट एन्ड पिपल अनि यताउता अनि होला नहोला भन्दा त घर गएर यताउता भिडियो सिडियो हेर्दाखेरि पुलिसले भिडियोमा गोली हानेको देख्न परिरहेछ घर घर गएर यो गरिरहेछ सो यत्रो वर्षको सप्रेसन जुन हामीले सहेर बसिरहेछ मान्छेले नेपाली जनता हामी फेरि जे पनि सहिदिन्छौँ हामीसँग ब्लडमै छ कि द टलरेन्स लेभल वी हेभ हामी जे पनि सहिदिन्छौँ अहिले चिल पिपल छौँ पहिलादेखि नै अलरेडी कति दुःख भइसकेको छ हामीलाई सो ठिकै छ धेरै दुःख नआओस् भनेर हामीले सहिरहेको हो नि त तर वेन यु लिटरली स्टार्ट किलिङ पिपल त्यसपछि त अब सकिहाल्यो नि त्यो कुरा त वेन यु हायर पिपल सपोज इक्जाम्पल हजुरलाई दिनुपर्दा यु हायर सर्भेन्ट्स इन यर हाउस होइन हजुरले जति कामहरू मजाले सिकायो यो पेइङ देम गुड त्यसपछि कामै गर्दैन अनि फेरि अनि अर्को सर्भेन्ट आउँछ फेरि यु पे देम गुड कामै गर्दैन इट्स स्टिलिङ फ्रम यर ओन हाउस कामै गर्दैन अनि लेटर अन यु स्टार्ट गोइङ जति कम्प्लेन गर्दा पनि सुन्दैन जति कम्प्लेन गर्दा पनि सुन्दैन अनि लास्टमा हजुरले गएर अति नै भयो भने रोडमा उत्रिँदाखेरि इफ द्याट सर्भेन्ट किल्स यु देन वाट डु यु डु यु विल गो म्याड नि त्यही भयो त्यो देशमा त्यो दिन हाम्रो देशमा त्यो दिन अब अति नै हुन्छ अब दे स्टार्टिङ टु किल अस दिस किड्स लाइक यङ इनोसेन्ट पिपल जसको फ्युचर कम अन लाइफ हो नि ह्युमन लाइफ हो त्यो फ्यामिली एउटा it's a I was still surprised कि people were talking about घरि कुन बिल्डिङ जल्यो घरि कुन बिल्डिङ जल्यो I'm like ए यार बिल्डिङको इम्पोर्टेन्स छ या के कुरा गर्न खोज्या हो I never got that I still don't talk about those buildings किनकि मेरो लागि buildings are never ever important than human lives human lives are human lives को अगाडि कुनै पनि बिल्डिङ केही पनि कुरै गर्दैन so yeah when these kids got shot सबजना बौलायो पागलै भयो दाइ अब जो अगाडि आउँछ त्यसलाई म रोडमा सेकेन्ड डेमा त म हिँडेँ थिएँ सबैजना यताउता हेर्दाखेरि म एक्लै हिँडेँ थिएँ मास्क लगाएर आफ्नै सुरमा आई स सबैजना मान्छे एकअर्का दे वर सो रेस्पेक्टफुल विथ इच अदर दाइ नो बडी वाज हिटिङ इच अदर रोडमा कोहीसँग झगडा गरेर थिएन सबैको रिस एउटै ठाउँमा डिरेक्टेड थियो वी नो
सबैको एउटा बोइलिङ पोइन्ट लाइक इट म्याच किनभने त्यो पोइन्टमा आई थिङ्क एउटा एक्जाम्पल नै भयो इभन मेरो कपाल कस्टमर्सले मलाई सोधिरहेको थियो कि नेपालमा के भएको हो किन दे न्यू आई वाज फ्रम नेपाल एन्ड दे वर लाइक आस्किङ मी कि तिमीहरूको जेनजीले त यो गभर्मेन्टै टपल गरिदियो भनेर उनीहरूले सो दे एक्चुअली नो अबाउट दिस होइन अनि अब द बेस्ट थिङ द्याट केम आउट अफ नितेश इज वी हेभ अ चान्स नाउ यो पोइन्ट भनेको मैले अब आई वाज लाइक टेलिङ यु अब म when I was probably like 7 years old हाम्रो त्यतिखेरको प्रधानमन्त्री जो थिए he was about to become another prime minister for like the seventh I don't even know how many times right and there's always like leadership भनेको चाहे एउटा हाउसहोल्ड होस् कि एउटा अर्गनाइजेसन होस् कि एउटा देश होस् होइन leadership does matter and it's such a one of those topics which breaks my heart especially like when I think of the kids that got shot bag भिरेर त्यस्तो भइरहेछ होइन let's hope something good comes out of it
100%
हाम्रो त्यो होप
अब उनीहरूको लाइफ त कहिले फर्किँदैन उनीहरूको फ्यामिलीको लाइफ कहिले त्यस्तो हुनेवालामै छैन होइन द्याट इज सम अब यहाँसम्म त पुग्यो कतिजना मान्छे मरेका छन् देशमा जुन घरि कसले कसलाई हानेको छ घरि के प्रोसेस स्टार्ट भनेको छ घरि कसले जनताको हित भनेको छ तर हुन्छ नि जनतै मरिरहेछन् होइन लास्टमा गएर आफू माथि पुगेर आफूले के गरे हो त थाहा छैन तर खोइ अब घरि के देखाइरहेछन् घरि के लाइरहेछन् सम्पत्तिकै कुरा छ यहाँ सो त्यो कुराहरूले गर्दाखेरि जुन एउटा एक्सप्लोजन भयो र त्यो मान्छेहरू त्यो ह्युमन लाइफ्स गएको कहिले पनि बिर्सिनै हुँदैन क्या अब अहिलेसम्म जुन यस्तो भएको छ मैले कति पछि रिसर्च पनि गरेँ त्यहाँ को मान्छेहरू रहेछन् भन्दाखेरि हुन्छ नि अब सबैजना जिन्दगीमा के गर्छु भने मान्छेहरू त हो नि एटलिस्ट मान्छे भनेको चाहे यङ होस् या बुढो होस् उसको त फ्यामिली हुन्छ उसको पछाडि उसको एउटा लाइफ हुन्छ होइन देशको लागि सडकमै आउन नपाउने त अनि ऊ आफ्नो हितको लागि होइन त्यो त भएन नि त होइन अफकोर्स अब कतिजना मान्छेले आकाशमा गोली हाने भयो नि हुन्थ्यो गोली नै कहाँ हान्न पाइन्छ गनै युज गर्न पाइँदैन नि
मेरो एउटा फियर के थियो भने फर्स्ट नाइट जुन प्रोटेस्ट भयो म एक्चुअली आई वाज लाइक ट्र्याकिङ इट लाइक युएसबाट नै मैले हेरिरहेको थिएँ मेरो अनेस्टली I was hoping कि nothing like this would happen like but there's always a chance कि you could have instigators like there's always going to be these players so the moment I started hearing that people were getting shot like I did not sleep that night and then probably orko night I think when I read about the prime minister resigning like for me that actually brought like so much era temporary joy to moment because I was like oh my god like Gen Z's did it like yo वर्षौंको पीडा नेपालीको मैले I think I told you about this story, Neetesh. It's not a super significant story. It's just an example. म 2014 मा म नेपाल फर्के थिएँ एकपल्ट अनि त्यस पछाडि म when I was coming back, returning back to the US, अब हाम्रो एयरपोर्टमा अब you see a lot of हाम्रो खाडी मुलुक जाने दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनीहरू हुनुहुन्छ त्यहाँ एकजना दिदी हुनुहुन्थ्यो she was in this completely different line हो कि यो I don't know मलाई आएर भाइ यो कहाँ म आई थिङ्क त्यतिखेर बरेन जाने आई थिङ्क सी वाज ट्राइन गो टु बरेन अहिले छैन क्या अरे होइन त्यतिखेर आई थिङ्क सी वाज ट्राइन गो टु बरेन अनि सी वाज इन अ कम्प्लिटली डिफ्रेन्ट लाइन लाइक त्यो उहाँलाई थाहा नै छैन होइन लाइक आई डोन्ट थिङ्क सी वाज एजुकेटेड लाइक पाउनु भएन होला चान्स तर इन द्याट मोमेन्ट अब आई डिरेक्टेड हर टु द राइट लाइन तर त्यस पछाडि द्याट आई थट अबाउट दिस कि दुःख छ गर दुःख अब सी डज इज नट एज एजुकेटेड त्यहाँ गएर के काम गर्ने हो कति दुःख छ के छ कस्तो छ थाहा छैन अनि आई kind of felt good about myself for like maybe half an hour, right? Like I thought about that. अनि म प्लेनमा बस्दाखेरि then I realized कि म पनि त अमेरिका हो एउटा एउटा म जान्छु म त्यहाँ गएर बस्छु भन्ने इच्छाले त गएको होइन नि त यसो एउटा हाम्रो कतिहरू अस्ट्रेलिया जान्छ अब आफ्नो फ्यामिली छोडेर त जाने इच्छा त कसलाई हुन्छ र होइन तर यो यो एउटा एउटा सिचुएसन कहाँबाट क्रिएट भएको भनेको गभर्मेन्टको लिडरसिपबाट नै हो इट केम फ्रम लाइक यो किनभने नेसन राम्रो छ भने त नेपाललाई नि त हामीले राम्रो बनाउन सक्छौँ नि त होइन सो म त्यो इन्सिडेन्ट आई थिङ्क अबाउट द्याट अनि त्यो भनेको त एउटा एउटा माइनर एक्जाम्पल हो हाम्रो देशबाट कति कति मान्छेहरू खाडी मुलुक जानुभएको छ फर्किनु भएको छैन लाइक हुन्छ नि अब बडी फर्किन्छ अनि इट ह्याड टु बी एट सम पोइन्ट अफ टाइम द्याट ह्याड टु ह्यापन अनफोर्चुनेटली अनि I'm just saying कि hopefully we turn a chapter here अनि एउटा राम्रो कुरा निस्कियोस् यसबाट
Let's see.
होइन
My father was also one of them जसले बाहिर गएर आफ्नो हेल्थ गुमाएर आयो होइन अब बाहिर गएपछि मान्छे के गर्छ काम गर्छ फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हुन्छ सो यु स्टार्ट ड्रिङ्किङ बिकज द लोनलीनेस विल गेट यु के टाइम होइन अनि यु स्टार्ट ड्रिङ्किङ यताउता नि हेल्थ गुमाउँछ मान्छेले कोर्स कि त खाना राम्रो खाँदैन कि के चिन्ता गर्छ जे पनि छुट्टै एक्लै बस्नु परेपछि मान्छे त जहाँ जुन देशमा भए पनि त गाह्रो हुन्छ मिडल इस्टको लाइफ त झन् गाह्रो लाइफ छ होइन सो या मेरो बाउले पनि मलाई पढाउनको लागि या हि लस्ट हिज when he came back he was not the same person होइन came back with a lot of diseases सो कतिजना घरमा भइरहेछ यो होइन we all know that अनि यो जस्ट हाम्रो यो अहिलेको सिस्टमसम्म मात्रै जाँदैन यो कहिलेको सिस्टमको अगाडिसम्म जान्छ क्या जनतालाई नपढाउने सिस्टम जुन भएको छ त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै रङ सिस्टम थियो होइन अब जनता पढ्यो भने जनता हामीभन्दा दिमागवाला हुन्छ नि हामीलाई नै निकालिदिन्छ त्यो पहिलादेखिको कुरा हो त्यो होइन सो त्यो अहिलेसम्म यही नै आइरह्यो सो एजुकेसन नभएपछि के हुन्छ शिक्षा नभएपछि के हुन्छ शिक्षा भन्ने कुरा त एकदम फ्रीमा बाँड्न पर्ने कुरा हो क्या खास जसरी हुन्छ हाम्रोमा जति जे नै भए पनि ल हाम्रो बच्चाबच्चीले पढ्न चाहिँ पाउनु पर्यो राम्रो स्कुलमा पढ्न पाउनु पर्यो जुन सहरमा जुन लेभलको पढाइ छ गाउँमा पनि त्यही लेभलको पढाइ हुनु पर्यो त्यसरी नै टिचरहरूले त्यो एउटा गरेको तेस्रो सिस्टम हामीले गर्न सक्यौँ भने चाहिँ अबको टाइममा चाहिँ हामी सबैजना मिलेर केही गर्न सक्यो भने चाहिँ धेरै राम्रो हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ शिक्षा चाहिँ सबैजनाले फ्रीमा पाउनुपर्छ
करेक्ट एजुकेसन एकदमै
एटलिस्ट एसएलसीसम्म होइन हजुरको एसएलसीसम्म त फ्रीमा पाउनु पर्यो नि त्यसपछि ओके प्राइभेट स्कुल छ भने त पैसा तिरेर पढ्न पाउनु पर्यो तर हाम्रो एउटा पब्लिक स्कुलको वातावरण त यति बनाउनु पर्यो कि जहाँ एसएलसीसम्म त मान्छेले फ्रीमा पढ्न पाउँछ त्यसपछि बरु अनि अलिअलि पैसा तिरोस् अथवा के तर त्यसपछिसम्म त उसले अलिकति राम्रो पढ्ने भइसकेको हुन्छ नि त बच्चा अनि यो कुराहरू भइरहन्छ नत्र फेरि सहन्छ मान्छेले एक दिन फेरि सबैजना पागल हुन्छ अनि देशै जल्छ होइन अनि फेरि आफ्नै मान्छेहरू मर्छन् हाम्रो फेरि हाम्रो आफ्नै दाजुभाइहरूलाई त्यस्तै परिवारमा त्यस्तै परिदिन्छ दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनी फेरि मर्छन् फेरि त्यस्तै हुन्छ त्यो लुपमा गइ नै रहन्छ क्या सो अहिलेको जुन जो नयाँ मान्छेहरू आएको छन् जो मान्छेहरू छन् होइन उनीहरूले चाहिँ यो कुरालाई नि एकदम सोचेर अगाडि बढ्नुपर्छ कि पढाउन चाहिँ हामीले आफ्नो सबभन्दा ठुलो जिम्मेवारी चाहिँ आफ्नो बच्चा पढाउन
एब्सोल्युटली एजुकेसनले एकदमै फरक पार्छ
हजुर
Neetesh, I want to come back to you. Of course, I did want to talk to you about your revolution because you were there, Nepal mein bhako. You saw like things firsthand. I do want to come back to about you, about what's your plan for foreseeable future about as far as music goes. There's we talked about evolving everything regarding music. So in your musical dimension, are you adding any layers? What's the plan? Like, what do you see the future for yourself? Are any collaborations, anything that we should be, or is it like surprise?
Right now, I'm on my second run, to be honest with you. First run bio, and this was I'm on my second run. I'm still hustling and grinding. I think, okay, the decisions I made, कुनै राम्रै पाथको लागि होला. I don't know the future, what the future holds. म फेरि मेरो स्टार्टदेखि मेरो स्क्रैचदेखि नै मलाई स्टार्ट गरेर जस्तो भइरहेछ. My plan अथवा my thing is, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but yeah, sooner or later, हाम्रो team and मेरो टिमको नाम चाहिँ you're going to see in the in international music
Okay.
sooner or later. But yeah, I'm working on that. I'm gonna put my music on the international scene.
Okay.
That's the plan. मेरो जुन के चाहिँ गरियो त्यो कन्ट्रीको लागि ब्याक कन्ट्रीले यत्रो गरिदियो आफ्नो लागि देशको लागि यत्रोले गरिदियो यत्रो एउटा आइडेन्टिटी दियो सो वाट क्यान आई गिभ ब्याक भन्दाखेरि इन्टरनेसनल म्युजिक सिनमा म मेरो देशको नाम हाल्न चाहन्छु म र मेरो टिम
Okay.
सो द्याट इज वाट आइम वर्किङ अन
Okay.
लेट्स सी द्याट अब सुन्दा भेग सुनिन्छ अफकोर्स तर या त्यो हुन्छ एक दिन
Okay, no,
That's the plan.
you have to have a start somewhere, right?
Yes.
So not no, that's actually great to hear. I did have a section, so Male needs to explain this to you. So I do take some questions from the audience. You know,
Awesome.
one of the questions that actually one of my friends, a very good friend, one of my closest friends in Virginia, he was asking me. He's a great musician, by the way. So if you get a chance, I actually told him like you should probably meet up with him.
Awesome.
So what he was asking, struggles about we kind of talked about this earlier, right? That in general, struggle ke huncha ta aba what for a musician, for an aspiring musician. I know you're talking about representation, right? Besides that, aru ke struggle huncha hola ta? That's what he was asking. In general, Nepalma.
अब नेपालमा चाहिँ नेपालको केसमा त्यही हो अब हरेक ह्युमन बिइङ सबैजना जुन एउटा युथले नै फेस गरेको स्ट्रगल जुन छ त्यो नै एउटा म्युजिसियनले पनि बाढी फेस गर्नै पर्ने हुन्छ फर्स्ट अफ अल अब एउटा म्युजिसियन भएपछि फर्स्ट अफ अल त आफ्नो पर्सनल इमोसन्ससँगै कति स्ट्रगल्सहरू हुन्छ किनकि यु हेभ टु राइट एन्ड अ गुड पिस अफ आर्ट डजन्ट कम अप विथ हुन्छ नि कम अप फ्रम अ ह्याप्पी माइन्ड सेट त्यो आउँदै आउँदैन अलिकति पेन त यु हेभ टु गो थ्रु you have to endure that pain and you have to enjoy that pain अनि आउँछ त्यो आफ्नो फिलिङ्सहरू बाहिर नेपालको केसमा चाहिँ त्यही हो अब लोड सेयरिङ एन्ड अल सानो सानो प्रिमिटिभ कुराहरूमा प्रब्लम्सको सुरुमा हामी गइरहेको हुन्छौँ तर द्याट डजन्ट मिन कि इट्स गन स्टप अस फ्रम गेटिङ आवर चेरिज एन्ड एक्चुली फार्ममा उत्रेपछि त जसरी पनि फल उतार्ने हो यु नो लाइक जति हाइट छ कसरी हुन्छ चढेर हुन्छ कि के गरेर हुन्छ त्यसको फल त निकाल्नै पर्यो So that is what we do. Struggle त्यही हो mostly अहिलेको टाइममा चाहिँ yeah the personal imbalance the anxiety that you get from social media you know like त्यो एउटा त्यो glory effect मा बसिरहेको हुन्छ नि त everybody is watching me type को अहिलेको सेन्समा so I think that to get inside a song and to get out of that feeling is a struggle.
Okay.
अनि मेरो केसमा चाहिँ
Okay. Orko, a question from audience. They kind of noticed something about your Instagram profile. You don't follow anyone, right? You have a lot of followers, but you don't follow anyone. Not even Donald Trump. Come on,
exactly.
So why don't you follow anyone? Just give us a logic for that.
Because when I was small, I was taught that you can just be two things in life. You can be a leader or a follower. So what do you choose? So I chose to be a leader, I guess.
Okay.
No, the honest truth I tell you is मलाई लाग्छ मेरो आँखा कसैलाई नलागोस्.
Okay.
That's why I don't follow anybody.
Okay.
If I want to talk to a friend, I call them.
Okay.
If I want to search somebody's profile, I go into it and write के लेख्नु छ.
Okay.
But I don't follow anybody because मलाई लाग्छ मेरो आँखै कसैलाई नलागोस्. You know, like म हेरिरहेको हुन्छु सबैको दुनिया मेरो अगाडि आउँदै नआओस् के.
Okay.
I'm scrolling.
Okay.
That is why I don't follow anybody.
That's your reason. Okay.
हजुर.
Arko question चाहिँ के छ भने okay. Well, actually, I have a friend up in San Francisco, and she is. I mean, I've already asked her a question, but she says she used to have like the biggest crush on you, which is she's probably one of the millions.
Thank you.
So Ashra, you're one of the millions. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So she was like the one who would recommend you like different places, like to go. I guess like restaurant. I guess she used to say that. So she just wanted to just say hi. That's what you're like.
Hi.
Okay. We talked about a lot of things, Neetesh. I found out something about you that made me sad. Okay. A lot of people are going to get sad about this. You're a Manchester United fan. Brother, I'm going to give you a hug after this. What happened? What happened, brother?
I don't know that. 10 years of silence or I don't know, the emotional fluctuations that has come up to us. Yeah, nothing
Okay.
happened. Nothing happened.
अहिले अब गाह्रो छ त्यो
गाह्रो
कुरामा
छ।
चाहिँ अलिकति आई थिङ्क
But
अनफोर्चुनेट
I'm really hopeful about the new coach. I think he's going to do something, but it has been a year, I guess, already.
या
Still, but I think it's going to take some time. But finally, a good coach is there who's focusing on the game. Let's see.
Yeah, with Amrim, I don't know. I think he's is walking on thin ice. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and people tell that कि अब त अलिकति बाहिर नै आइसकेको कुरा, the whole system is gone जस्तो देखिन थाल्छ कि United.
I think it's the system, like the entire system. नै त्यो sporting director देखि नै I think there's like त्यो issues छ so feel हुन्छ हैन. So
100%.
no, we were talking about this, and Arsenal fans are going to be, I don't know, like they'll be sad that you follow United, but यो सिजनमा आर्सेनलले पनि के पनि जित्दैन. Like that's the hope. As a Chelsea fan, I'm like त्यो मेरो आँखा लागिरहेछ है ब्रदर, तिम्रो आँखा नि मेरो आँखा लागिरहेछ त्यसमा.
लाग्नै पर्यो। हजुर त झन् लन्डन राइभल्सहरु भयो नि त हैन।
लन्डन राइभल्स तर only difference भनेको चाहिँ हामीले टाइटल अलिक जित्छौँ हैन. आर्सेनलले पनि जितेको छ
of course
20 वर्ष 22 वर्ष अगाडि, so it's been like a little bit of time. मलाई मार्छ मेरो आर्सेनल साथी फ्यानहरुले मलाई मार्छ.
So Gunners are always the sunky ones.
एउटा मैले भिडियो हेरेको थिएँ कि लजिक दिएको आर्सेनलले किन टाइटल जितेन भनेर.
हजुर
क्वीन बितेको थियो नि त, क्वीन बितेर आर्सेनल टाइटल जितेन रे. So I'm like
तर त्यो इयर त अब मुखमै पुगिसकेको थियो नि त हैन.
Okay, I'm like, all right, I don't know how that logic holds, but apparently it does.
तर बिचारा क्वीन त आफ्नो लाइफ मजाले लिएर आफ्नो एज भएर त गयो नि त, कुनै सडन गयो. सो आर्सेनलले त्यो भन्नै मिल्दैन
हैन, तर आर्सेनल fans are like that.
Exactly.
You should know.
Arsenal fans are like that.
All right, Arsenal fan, I'm like Kutsa brother, eh? Okay, so last question I'll tell you this is, or kind of like, coming towards the end of this, what would be your suggestion to someone who's, trying to break into the industry? Now, the challenges are even more because of, a lot of, social media, there's competition between artists. As you said, representation pani चाहिन्छ. So what would you suggest to someone as, someone who actually came through the system? What would you suggest out to them?
Be a rebel भन्छु म हैन. अब म जस्तो थिएँ, I was a rebel. कतिजना मान्छेहरूले यो वर्क गर्छ यो वर्क गर्दैन भनेकै थियो. When I was growing up, people used to tell, don't write originals. Covers चल्छ. Success पाउन cover लेख. अथवा सरी cover लेख, cover गाऊ. So I tell कोही मान्छे बसिरहेछ नि, I tell them the same thing. Just be yourself, just rebel भएर निस्क न, because you have to be that force के. अनि त मजा आउँछ. कतिजना मान्छेहरू अगेन्स्ट जाओस् न आफूसँग, अनि पो त्यसलाई त्यो आइस ब्रेक गर्न पो मजा आयो त. त्यो सबैले हस् यसले मलाई यो भनेको छ म यस्तो हुन्छु. जस्तै मैले नै केही सजेसन दिए भए पनि उसलाई के लागिरहेछ अरे, सपोज यो होइन भने नि ओके, गो अगेन्स्ट माई सजेसन. वेन यु प्रुभ मी रङ, आई लभ द्याट मोर के. यसले मलाई यस्तो भनेको छ म यस्तो गर्छु, पिपलले यस्तो सोध्छ म यस्तो गर्छु, तिमी कतै पुगे पनि मजा आउँदैन क्या त्यसरी. सुन्नु पर्ला कतिजना मान्छेको कुरा, तर भित्रको एउटा कोर त हुन्छ नि, आफ्नो बर्निङ कोर.
Sure.
सो त्यो बर्निङ डिजायरलाई सुन्ने हो. It doesn't even matter कि मैले नै अहिले भन्दैछु कि I'm not gonna fall for these promotional stuff now. I told you, right?
Sure.
यो जसरी डान्स गरेर I'm gonna try my own shit. Let's see how it goes. I might fail, I might rise. तर at the end, I'll always be sure कि okay, I followed my heart. मैले कसैको कुरा सुनेको थिएन. Just doesn't mean कि just because you don't give up, you'll make it भन्ने त छैन नि त.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's fate. So I tell these people, just be yourself, just break into that character जुन आफूले आफूलाई जुन बनाएको छ. Be a rebel, be the force that changes the world, because it's not about succeeding. Some people really want to change the world, and people who wanted to change the world were misfits. We all know that. Nobody liked them,
Right.
but now everybody talks about them. So be that force once, okay? If you really want to change the scenario, so that's it. If you want to make it as a famous artist or anything, okay, you can apply the formulas. They are there. You can go inside the trend. The trend good, a trend, if you want to be the trend setter, if you want to bring a new trend yourself, you have to be that force.
Sure.
That is what I say.
That makes sense. Okay. Actually, I was able to pull up the last question. Sorry, I was. मेरो एकजना भाइ is a big Chelsea fan.
हजुर
When composing a song, what's your process? Is it instrument or do you start with humming the tune, or like how do you start? I guess like the very start. What do you do?
Mm,
Because about you write the lyrics obviously, right? First, maybe that's the process, and then about music or add गर्दाखेरि say like what's like the typical process?
it is similar to I say dopamine farming. So I start visualizing these ideas as colors in my head, and colors are literally emotions. So first of all, I'm driven by an emotion of a thought that really touches me, touches my soul, moves me, and then the idea comes. First, the emotion is there, and the idea comes. I have to really be honest with myself and to realize that idea, to realize that emotion. I should not hide myself from facing that kind of particular emotion. And when that idea comes up, I really start visualizing in my head, okay, how is this gonna be? How's this piece of idea gonna start and end? Or maybe it doesn't have an end. I'm just going to throw some light into it. So then I sit and I start writing, thinking about that idea. I become really honest to myself. Okay, this is what I am. And then some lines come up, and I pick up my guitar, and then I try to convert these lines into melodies. I don't have a strong background when it comes to melodies. I'm not a good,
Okay.
you know, a singer when it comes to melodies. I just focus on the words and the delivery.
Okay.
And yeah, I write it, and if I don't like it, I cut it down and I write again. And when I'm satisfied with my, it's typically like you're doing a homework. The teacher asks you to write an essay
Yeah.
about something, and you just sit there, and it's a
Kinda go
process
on,
at the end of the day.
kinda
Yeah.
go from there. Okay.
हजुर.
So you have a few shows coming up, right? Can we talk about that so people know where to find you? Can we talk about that?
Of course. As my first पनि you mentioned.
Right.
Thank you so much. 24th अक्टोबरमा चाहिँ डालसको एउटा ह्याङआउट रेस्टुरेन्ट भन्ने एन्ड स्पोर्ट्स क्लब भन्ने ठाउँमा चाहिँ वी आर पर्फर्मिङ 24th अक्टोबर फ्राइडे.
Okay.
सो आई थिङ्क जो डालसमा हुनुहुन्छ, इफ यु हियर दिस दे क्यान जोइन मी.
डे अफ लिएर जानु होला सबैजना.
हजुर, डे अफ लिएर आउनु होला. लेट्स हेभ अ ग्रेट टाइम. इट्स गोना बी अ सिम्पल नाइट. रमाइलो हुन्छ. अनि त्यही हो, एकछिन दुःख बिर्सिने हो.
Okay. No, that's great. I'd love to attend that. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to make it, Neetesh, but
No worries.
I'm sure
You've been taking care of us here.
it's an honor.
I'm really thankful about that.
Yeah. So anything else, Neetesh, you want to add before we wrap this up?
But we've talked about everything, मलाई त्यही लाग्छ कि हाम्रो देशको मुहार फेरियोस्. द्याट्स इट. अहिलेको टेन्सन भनेको त्यही नै छ. अब म कति इन्जोय गर्न खोजिरहेको हुन्छु. अब म्युजिकको कामहरू यताउता छ, तर ब्याक अफ द हेड अलिकति देशमा सबै राम्रो होस् होइन. जो मान्छेहरूले आफ्नो ज्यान गुमाएर यतिको चेन्जेसहरू आछ, घाइते भएर जति उनीहरूको फ्रस्ट्रेसन छ, यङ पिपल, यिनीहरूले एउटा बेटर फ्युचर देख्ने अप्सन पाओस्. भोलि बिहान उठेपछि ओके म देशमै के गर्न चाहन्छु र मसँग अपर्च्युनिटी छ भन्ने यिनीहरूले एउटा थट पाओस्. त्यो मलाई लाग्छ. अनि सबैजना खुसी होस्. एट दि एन्ड अफ द डे पिस होस् होइन. सबैजना मिलेर काम होस्. ठुलो बुढो जेनेरेसन र यङ जेनेरेसन, बिचको जेनेरेसन, सबैजनाको एउटा युनिटी होस्. त्यसले गर्दा नेपालले पनि अबको 10 इयर्समा एउटा नयाँ मुहार पाओस्. मलाई चाहिँ त्यही इच्छा छ. अनि जुन म्युजिकको कुरा भयो, म्युजिकको कुरामा मैले जुन प्लान गरेको छु त्यो पनि सक्सेसफुल होस् होइन. बिस्तारै आई प्रे होइन काम गर्ने. अब आई डोन्ट से कि हामी सक्सेसफुल हौँ, हामीले ग्लोरी पाओस्, तर त्यो काम गर्ने शक्ति चाहिँ दियोस् हामीलाई. त्यो काम गर्ने एउटा त्यो मोटिभेसन चाहिँ दियोस् गडले पनि. सो द्याट इज वाट आई वान्ट. अनि लास्ट बट नट द लिस्ट, हजुरको काठमाडौँ पडकास्टले चाहिँ एलएबाट जुन स्टार्ट गरेको छ वेभ, त्यो चाहिँ दुनियाँभरि जाओस्. सबैमा हजुरको मेसेज जाओस्. जुन you've been doing this is really inspiring. You've been getting people from all over the world, from all faculties. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, bhai.
हजुर सब राम्रो हुँदै जाओस्, and that's all I want to say.
All right.
Dai.
Thank you, Neetesh. And before I conclude this, and thanks for introducing me to your couple songs I had not checked out. So please, I asked the audience to check out. One is called Naked,
Hazur.
and you did that with it was a collaboration.
Naked is a solo
Is
thing.
a solo.
Rebirth is a collaboration.
Rebirth. So I was telling Neetesh, just he told me about this song yesterday, and I was like just coasting along. He actually listened to it. I got a very cool LA vibe from it. So let me know if that actually resonates with you all. But Neetesh bhai, namaste. Thank you so much.
Namaste, Dai.
Thanks for doing this, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Dai.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you, bye.